Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Man, I got caught up, got easily distracted. I looked up, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm late. But anywho, I'm here. Y'all see the thumbnail, Davis versus Garcia is on and popping. Do the fans have suggestions on how to ensure that fight come to fruition, or that fight actually happens, or that they actually show up? I mean, we could say a lot of ors, but we're gonna get into that and other things. But y'all know the drill. First, let's turn to Welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. As I said earlier, I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. I see you, E Thriller, the Black Picasso, in here, bright and early and bushy tail. He said, "What's happening, Miss T? What's good with you? What's on and popping?" Yeah, that's the theme through this today's show. It's on and popping. Well, what we have seen lately, Jay Reading, he said, "Hey sis, what's popping, King? Welcome to the building." See, something I noticed that we should all be noticing. Davis versus Garcia is official. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't know what can happen. But what am I thinking about? At the top of my hour, y'all know I do a water check. Water check. The reason why I do that is because I hope y'all get so sick of me saying it that it's imprinted in your mind. And before you grab that soda or that coffee or that liquor or whatever it is you like, you grab the water first. No reason in 2023 and going forward should any of us be dehydrated or have dehydration problems, because we all know now how integral water is for your body, right? So we know that a lot of people don't like to drink water for many reasons, and that's their prerogative. But here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate that you drink at least 100 ounces of water. We know the formula: half your body weight in ounces of water. Okay? No matter what diet you do, no matter what you're trying to do, if you don't include water, you're doing it wrong. And it's bound to fail, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So we know a lot of people don't like to drink water, so we advocate at least twice a day that you drink water. That's first thing in the morning before your toes hit the ground, before you get off into your morning routine. Have 8 ounces of water sitting. That's all you need, 8 ounces. Have it sitting on a nightstand. Gulp it down. Learn how to drink your water room temperature. Although I like my water cold. But then also we advocate that you get you a little mini fridge. You can get you a little box fridge, something like I got, which is waist high, little fridge. My whole family loves the refrigerator that I got in my room because we don't have to trek downstairs to the main refrigerator in the kitchen and go get cool refreshments. Because when you're down there, you know, if you like me, you be like, while I'm down here, I might as well pull out some of these leftovers. I could whip up this right quick and all that stuff. When you know how to cook, you can do that. But so I keep a mini fridge upstairs, and everybody can go in and get water, put whatever they want in there instead of having to go downstairs. You know, I know some people say it's worth the walk. Not in my goddamn house. I ain't trying to toot my horn and be braggadocious, but my house is huge as shit. I'm not walking down there because once I get down there, shit, I got to do something to justify that long trek downstairs, don't it? So drink it first thing in the morning. If you think of your body as an engine and the water is the lube, that's what you need. You want things to move in a timely and efficient manner. The second time you should drink water is at night when you get out the shower or the tub. You know, guzzle you some water. Because what you going to do? You're going to put your pajamas on. You're going to jump in the bed. You're going to look at a program or two. Or you're going to read a passage in a book. Or you're going to read an article in a magazine or a newspaper or something. And shit, while you waiting, just drink you some water. Another 8 ounces, right? And I like to tell you guys whether I'm on point with my water. Today, I'm on point with my water. Usually around this time, I would have drank 10 bottles, 8-ounce bottles of water. I buy them in 8 ounces because if you buy the 16 ounce, that's 2 cups of water, right? And what do we normally do? We drink half of it, sit it down, and say, I'm going to come back to it later. Now it's hot. Now, like I said, I prefer my water cold. But I know if I drink 8 ounces, that's like 3 gulps. The way I drink. Glop, glop. You know what I'm saying? 3 big gold gulps of water, and you can knock it out real easy. A lot of stuff going on at night while you need to drink water. A lot of work. You might not think it is because you're in a deep sleep. You know, the average sleep cycle is like 75 to 90 minutes. Then it repeats itself, and it does that all night. And if you really want to know what the different cycles or the realms of sleep are, then get you a Psych 101 book or go get you a book or something to learn about the different, I think it's 4 cycles in that whole thing. And learn about the different phases of sleep or whatever. You don't have to, but just know that it's a cycle and it repeats itself. And in that cycle, that's when the magic happens. So much so that the average person burns between 900 to 1,000 calories in their sleep. That's a fact. You're not getting that in a hardcore balls to wall workout in the gym. So this is better, right? So make sure you get your sleep. We're not talking about cat naps. We're talking about actual deep sleep. Okay, so make sure you get your sleep. And that way you can have your revamping, recharging, rebooting, recreating. Just the recreation alone takes a lot of work. So you need your water. So don't be out here. Don't be one of these people out here struggling with your intake of water. You can even trick your mind because sometimes when you want to do right, it seems like your body don't want to do right. It want to be antagonistic to you, right? So sometimes you got to trick your body. You can be like, don't deny yourself the soda or the coffee or the hottie toddy at night. Just say, yeah, I'm going to drink them shits, but I'm going to drink my water first. So I'm going to front load my water first. And then after I front load my water, then I'm going to go ahead and drink it. It doesn't matter your size neither. If you're an adult, I would even say at 16 and older, you should be able to drink a gallon of water. So, and a gallon of water is 128 ounces. So please drink your water. Now, having said that, let's get to some housekeeping. Please, 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 in my James Brown voice, please, please don't go. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, you don't have to do it again. I already got you locked in. But do hit the like and share button. Watch me on replay. Do leave a comment. As y'all see, I talk to y'all all the time. I be getting back with you guys. And, no hard feelings or nothing, because I can't get mad at what one opinion is next to another. But do hit the like and share button. And basically lean on my heezy when you come into my easy. Or lean on my leasy when you come into my easy. I said that wrong. Basically hit the like button when you step into my square circle. And if you have any questions, leave a statement, comment, a question, whatever, right there on the replay. Or hit me up at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. As y'all see, I'm telling you, I talk to a lot of y'all. And I get back with you. It don't matter what you say. And even if you disrespectful, I try to come back at you respectfully. And then y'all see this lovely yellow sign over here, Boxing Fans Talk TV, with the green dollar sign, the almighty dollar sign at the top. That's my Cash App. Lean on that. Jump on that. Do a jig on that. Embrace it. Become one with it. That's my Cash App. Miss T like Cash Apps too. Miss T definitely like her Cash Apps. And guess what? All the proceeds that come there, I put it right back into the channel with all these lovely gadgets that you can't see on the other side of the camera. So thank you from the past, present, and future for any Cash Apps that you donate to my channel, especially if you think I'm dropping you some nuggets like I try to do on the regular. Thank you for donating. And I come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Even, sometimes if I don't have nothing to say, y'all ain't gonna see me. Sometimes Miss T need a break too. But I will never fluff with y'all. I will never blow smoke up your astrobula. You understand? I'm not into the fluff. Now, so if I have something to say, I'm going to come see you. I'm going to be up here. But if I don't got nothing to say, if there's nothing to talk about, nothing to talk about. And when you see that, like boxing kind of slows down, especially when football season starts. And this month alone, I know you fellas need y'all break because isn't this March Madness? I don't watch basketball and football like that. But I do understand and am sympathetic to what you guys like to watch out there. I know I got to keep track of the other sports so I can know what's going on and try not to be in conflict with those sports. Now that I said all that, like I said, welcome to the building, E-Thriller, the Black Picasso, Jay Reedy or Jay Reddy. Our money is in the building. What's poppin', King? Said Miss T, water check. Indeed. Make sure you drink your water. That ain't no joke. Let me tell you, find yourself in a hospital for any reason. You don't want them attaching that saline bag full of water, man. You'll have to trek that shit to the bathroom and all that shit be hooked up. I like going in there. If I have to go to the hospital and they be like, we don't need no damn water. We don't need to put no water. What's up, Jerry? Jerry Tasker is in the building. What's up, King? What's popping? Now, listen, I'm going to talk about something else. So I think my boy ATL will be in shortly, but yesterday we had a back and forth debate. And I noticed a lot of people watch the show and replay. It was... Listen, we good. Me and ATL, we still good. We it's all love or whatever. And I asked the chat, I said, you guys go look up stuff. And the reason why I always have to get in a debate with him on that subject is because I can't allow people to come through this channel and say something that's not true. Now, sometimes we all can say things that's not true. and because we just don't know. It's no harm or no foul, but if you wrong, be woman enough or man enough to come back the next day and say, yeah, I was wrong. I do that all the time. Anything I need to correct, I shoot it off at the top of the hour. I be like, let me get this correction because I was kind of wrong on this, my bad. Because one thing I don't want to do is put out there bad juju, bad information. Another thing that I do is I can tell you guys when I'm speculating or when I'm guessing or when I'm assuming. And I notice a lot in YouTube community that a lot of people don't want to say that. Hey, I'm speculating here. It's my opinion here. Because you put things in its proper perspective when you do that. If you come and say things as if you offering facts, this is why everybody get all up in arms and get their panties in the wad, because they're talking like it's a fact when it's not. So, a hint to the wise, it's not a bad thing if you go out and say, hey, I'm guessing, I speculate, or I believe to be, that's all it means. Then people can be like, oh, okay, this person assuming, they just thinking, blah, 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 okay. They're not saying it's a fact. Well, then I see it this way. But if you come off and you say something that's not true, but you offer it as facts, of course there's going to be controversy. Of course there's going to be an argument or a debative argument. Not like we don't do real arguments over here. Like people getting up in the arms, and we had a couple of arguments on the show yesterday, but it all ends in love because that's how I like to do the show. You don't have to get to a point where you can't even talk to one another because y'all had a difference of opinion. It's just boxing, y'all. It's just boxing, or whatever we talking about. It's just whatever we talking about. So I got a lot of pushback today or the other day about what Bozy said. Shout out to the guy who did send me a comment or a text. I guess he was making a statement. Excuse me for coughing. What I got to say to that is, hey, don't get mad at me because Bozy said what he said. I don't have to give no special allowances to Bozy, I've heard everything from like, how he talked, or like he ain't got it all. I never looked at him like that. That is not my first. I don't, I'm not looking at people like something wrong with them or whatever, unless it's obviously seen. I didn't think that way of Bozy. I think Bozy made a Freudian slip, and that's what I said. I think he was so in the business at the moment of trying to convince Steven Espinoza and maybe PBC, maybe like Al Heyman with PBC, that don't worry, no matter what is being said, we still love you. We put you guys first, we're loyal. But then he let out, we are so loyal that we ain't even signed to them, but we will never cross them. That's how loyal we are. Basically talking about the gentleman's agreement that he gave to Showtime. That's fine and dandy. It's nothing in writing that says you have to be signed to this person or that person. You can do what you want to do for your career. Can't nobody throw you in jail for the choices you make with your career, Bozy. But you cannot act like you and Team Ennis did not allow for the narrative to be that you was signed with Showtime and you never was. Because there's a lot of YouTube content creators, including myself, that have said for months now, oh, Boost is signed with Showtime. Never once did y'all come out and correct that. What that makes you? I mean, if you telling, I've had friends come on here. I had my friend Destiny come on here and say, Miss T, you're a scientist. I was like, nah, technically I'm not. but I do know science really well. I did do science. I work in science field in the Navy, but I'm not a scientist. What my degree is in is history, amongst other stuff. I do have an applied science degree, but that's just an associate. But you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't allow her to say that, even though I can hang with the best of them talking about science. But I wouldn't allow her to say it. That's called integrity. And I'm not saying Bosie has it either way, but like I said, a lot of us were saying, including myself, that Boost is signed with Showtime, and he never was, according to Bosie. So we hear him drop that nugget. We always hearing about what makes Terrence Crawford so horrible, and they don't give him no wiggle room. They hold his feet to the fire, but we can't hold other people's feet to the fire. You know, the whole time I've heard Terrence is ducking Boots. Terrence is avoiding Boots. He's scared of Boots. I don't know where you get that from. But this is where they get it from. Boots was in the ranking and Terrence didn't fight him. Or he refused to fight him and this, that, and other. None of that was true. Boots made a conscious choice to go the route to fight Errol Spence. Terrence fans that I'm not aware of any Terrence fans that call him duck for that. But only reason that comes up is because of what they try to say about Terrence. So of course, Terrence supporters like me got to come back and say, no, Boots chose to go the IBF route. He could have chose the WBO route. And if you wonder why I'm talking about this again, because I had some feedback. So I'm giving feedback to the feedback. And thank you for being patient with me. But Boots chose what he chose. And I have no problem with it. Bud fans don't have no problem with it. It's the Spence fans and the Spence haters that had a problem with it. And they laid it at the feet of Bud. So to the person who wrote me, that was the problem. And then amplifying information comes out saying, wait a minute now. You mean Boots Ennis this whole time was a free agent? And he didn't tell nobody? Mark Nash is in the building. What's poppin', King? Said, what up, fam? Mark said Bosie said he didn't know he had to petition the IBF mandatory. He said we thought it was automatic. But but they petitioned him 3 times, Mark. I don't know why he was saying, or did you mean he didn't know if he had to petition the WBO? General Big Fish is in the building. What's poppin', King? Said, what up, Miss T? E Thriller say, talk that shit, Miss T. Quentin Bradley is in the building. He said, oh shit. Yeah, Quentin, I gotta respond to the feedback that I got. So I'm being nice, Quentin. He said, good evening, Miss T, my sister. What's up, bro? Yeah. So I gave an analogy. Like if you running down in a race and the reward is gonna be $100,000 if you finish the race. They didn't say if you come in first, if you win the race or whatever. They just say if you finish. And you come to a fork in the road, you can go right or you can go left. Right? It don't matter. You're going to get a reward either way you go. I.e., Boost could have chose Terrence or he could have chose Errol. It didn't matter which way. He could get a reward either way he went. Should he be victorious? It doesn't matter his reasonings. Those are his reasonings. I didn't call Boost a duck. Just to clear it up to the person who emailed, I didn't call him a duck for that. But when, like I said, amplified information comes out, and the amplified information is that you are not signed to anyone, not PBC, not Showtime. So you're a free agent, just like Bud. I see a lot of infractions at that point. One, you let the YouTubers and your fans and fans of boxing period go off into the sunset with the narrative that you signed to Showtime, and you never try to correct that. I got to call into question your integrity at that point. Because that is something we should know. Because that's going to help you not come up with these bullshit ass narratives out here. So I got to call into question when you do that. Number two, you are not legally bound to anyone. So you cannot, why are you, what makes the WBO belittling or insignificant to you? It's a championship belt. You know, taking that from Bud will catapult you into another hemisphere as far as the top elite fighter. Then you have a bargaining chip. And you over there with Showtime and work with PBC probably would have made the fight easier to make with you and Errol. I do have to ask these questions, like, why didn't you go get the belt off of Terrence? And then you guys don't step in, and I don't hold this too much against you. You don't step in when other people are making up fake narratives concerning, you know, you and Terrence Crawford. Like, Terrence is avoiding you, this, that, and the other, or whatever. I don't hold that too much against you, because people going to say what they going to want to say. You can't always run to the rescue or none of that. But when somebody's saying something about you specifically, you should always want to set the record straight. That's all I'm saying. But Bosley was so trying to convince Steven Espinoza, in my opinion, he was talking to him, and maybe Al Heyman. I don't think he was really talking to the fans. But he let it slip. It was a fraudulent slip. So at this point, I do call Boots Ennis a duck. I do have to question why he never activated his mandatory in the WBO. I do call into question why, at this point, what makes what's going on right now so different than last year or so, why the WBO feel that they had to take you off their rankings completely. Gotta ask yourself. I question your Danish Hughes. Why are you always chiming in like you hanging from Errol Spence nuts? Or Boost anybody, like you got a vendetta against Terrence Crawford. Don't blame us. Blame Bob. Bob, the one, I think, who said your Danish Ugas was offered a fight and he turned it down. It's on a video clip somewhere. But don't blame us. Terrence ain't talking bad about you. But you was like, Alexis Rocha, you are trying to stir up shit at that point, your Danish Ugas. Then you need to worry about why the fuck you knock Errol Spence into the ropes and you ain't mashed on the gas. That's what you need to worry about. Don't worry about what the fuck Terrence Crawford doing. And I will say, like, speak English. You up here low-key putting people down in Spanish. Fuck. Mark and I said my point was he seems uniform, sometimes respectfully. He said, I don't think Showtime is going to be as loyal to Boots. Me either, Mark. Showtime can't afford to be loyal to nobody. They got to worry about, can they keep the lights on? God forbid he gets injured. You think Showtime going to provide for him and his family? Hell no. Drop him like a damn bad habit. That's what's going to happen. Well, if Bud can't get the Spence Jr. fight, should not be a problem fighting Boots. Fight a somebody for once now. You know what, Quinn? I don't disagree. If Spence and Thurman goes through, then why you gotta ask Boots why he don't want to fight Bud. Y'all gotta stop leaving it at Bud's feet. Now, Bud, if they put this shit in your lap, you pick this shit right back up and you put it in their lap. You gotta ask Spence. You gotta ask Keith Thurman. You gotta ask Boots why they ain't fighting. But even if you want to say it's Bud fault against Spence, if that's your narrative, you definitely, if you look at the facts when it comes to Boots and Virgil Ortiz, Don't get me started on Virgil Ortiz, because y'all say the same thing about him. But then the WBO president, not just a nigga on the street, not just me, the WBO president comes out and say on Boxing Voice, shout out to Ness, in an interview that they offered him the Terrence Crawford fight twice. We have been saying that. But people act like, nah, I don't believe it. But then the president comes out and say, we offered him twice, and twice he turned us down. Fucking Ness came back because he knew the accent was strong. Let me clarify. That's what Ness was doing. So what you're saying is, you brought the bottle of beer at 10 o'clock. You know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up. Ness came back and clarified. So you saying that he turned the fight down twice? Yeah, we offered it to him twice. So again, how does that land in Bud's feet? You know, and never once when y'all are proven wrong, you know, you Spence fans or Bud haters, you never come back and apologize. Never, ever come back and apologize. I can think of so many things where you was wrong. Quince, okay, so Alexis Rocha Quinton, as I showed yesterday when I pulled up the WBO rankings, which everybody got real quiet on me when I pulled them up. He's ranked number 1. The two people that actually technically avoided and was dismissive of Bud and didn't petition to fight Bud got knocked out of their spots. I'm supposed to act like I don't see that? Y'all gonna act like y'all don't see that? I mean, Virgil Ortiz and Bruce Ennis since when? Since earlier that year. Maybe even the year before that, wasn't trying to see Bud. And if you think about it, now you know all these sanctioning bodies have meetings, annual meetings. And you know those boards convene at whatever time to sometimes order fights because shit about the bottleneck, right? So they get together and they order a fight for Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. If I was number 1 or number 2 on that ranking, because at that time Sean was number 3, I would have a problem with you skipping me. I'll be like, hold on. Let me talk. Let me say something. Let me talk. How in the hell you skip me? How you just go past me and straight to Sean Porter? You never heard any of that shit, did you? Virgil Ortiz, Boots Allen. When he fought David Avanesian, talking about Terrence, everybody rolled his back on that. I said, I gave a simple, plausible explanation. And I said, maybe. And I said, maybe in the front of it. I said, Virgil Ortiz turned him down. Virgil, what Terrence going to beat him in the head and say, you got to take this fight? There's nothing he can do if Virgil don't want to do it. Then I said number ranked 2, because Virgil was number 1. So ranked number 2 through 5 was all PBC or Showtime affiliate type fighters. Most of them was signed to PBC. The reason why I brought Showtime in it because the Boots was in that. And at the time, I thought Boots was signed to Showtime. But I don't make no distinction really between Showtime and PBC because that was the network that they got the contract with. That was my answer. Bud can't get a fight with Spence, but he's going to get a fight with these other notable fighters that also fight under PBC and Showtime. So number 2 through 5 was out of the question. And I think Bud knew that. At the time, I didn't know this answer, but I later found out that according to the WBO rules, Bud had to fight that year or be stripped. He cannot do shit on PBC time. PBC is not responsible for the WBO belt that Bud holds. Bud Crawford is. And Bud Crawford is responsible for knowing the rules and regulation for such belt. And he knew he had to fight that year or be stripped. So I can't be mad at him for that. And number 6 ranked was not with PBC, was not with somebody that would have caused a problem for them to set up a fight. And that was David Avanesian. So, according to the rules, he had to defend his title. The next person on the list who either didn't didn't want to fight Bud or was signed with PBC or Showtime was David Avanesian. But yet, when you hear people talk about it, they act like they don't understand it. So I had to call, going back full circle, I had to call out Bozy. I can't give him the benefit of the doubt because we in the era where nobody getting the benefit of the doubt. And I'm cool with that. I would love to give people the benefit of the doubt. But if you ain't going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, then nobody should have the benefit of the doubt. Bozy said what he said. And what I heard was you're not legally bound to no one. And you was offered a chance to be a champion and have much more leverage and much more legitimacy to make Earl Spence fight you. And the fact that y'all pretty much work with the same people could have easily been done versus Earl and Bud. And you turned that down. You turned the opportunity to be a champion when that's what you've been clamoring at. We got to hear how Bruce Ennis, how 15 people turned him down. Remember that time? I think he was fighting Castillo Clayton, I think, or whoever he fought last year. And he was like 15 people turned him down. We got to hear all that shit. We got to hear how you just biting at the bits to get to a championship fight where you can earn your belt. But the powers that be is standing in the way, or the fighters themselves is dragging their ass. We got to hear all this shit. And only to find out you ain't legally tied to nobody. So you don't have no excuse for not taking the fight. Point blank, period. Mark Nash said, I thought it was a 3-fight deal. Delorme, Clayton, and Karen. Well, that's what they say, a multi-3-fight deal. It was never a contract, though. Bozy said that. Not T, not Miss T, Bozy. That's where I got the information from his mouth. He did a Freudian slip. Quentin Bradley says, so far, all his opponents have worldwide known nicknames. Opponents ain't even B-levels. That's y'all. I can't, and that's another thing I can't do, Quentin, and most of you guys. I said, you know what? You can't argue or debate how somebody feel. Because how they feel is accurate and true how they feel. You can't say otherwise. Like, I can't tell you, Quentin, that you wrong in how you feel. You feel like giving these opponents nicknames. I'm a fan of boxing too, and I don't do that. I ain't saying you wrong or right. It'd be funny sometimes. Like, nah, I'm gonna take it back because I did cross that line on y'all show when I called dude Chimichanga. I did do that. My bad. I got into the reindeer games and called the dude Chimichanga. But typically I don't really do that. Heath Thriller said, fuck Ugas, that bald-headed bastard through that fight. A lot of people feel that way, Heath Thriller. I know this. He knocked down Earl. They didn't call it a knockdown. I'm fine with that. Because there's a rule that said the ropes can't take, right? But why he ain't mashed the gas? And like I said, it's a tape out there with Bob Arum saying that they offered Ugas a fight. He turned it down. So what you mad at Terrence Crawford for? It's not Terrence Crawford fans that's readily to bring up y'all past in the amateurs. That's not us. That's Spence fans and Crawford haters trying to come up with legitimate reasons why Terrence Crawford ain't shit. That's them. You know, like, remember Terrence Crawford was on the hit list, no fly list. I see he took his black ass to Thailand. Hey, Terrence. Chilling over there with the tigers and the elephants and shit. Couldn't nobody say he wasn't supposed to miss. He wasn't supposed to miss T. Ugas did right. The DA ref said stop. I ain't with all that. Like, I didn't hear it. I'm not denying that it didn't happen though. I don't know. Even when y'all pointed out, I'd be like, how was he supposed to stop throwing the punches and he hit him? Even if the refs say stop, there's no rule to say, well, if I say stop and y'all don't listen, then nothing counts after that. I've been looking for that rule. I can't find it. Somebody point that out to me. General Big Fish said, damn, E3. Ugas did nothing wrong. Ugas did do something wrong for himself. He didn't mash the gas. In a sense, he quit. People have to put the mic in his face and say, hey, why you quit? Because in my opinion, he quit. Notice how I say, in my opinion. General Big Fish said, Miss T got her lawyer uniform on tonight, I see. Oh, Big Fish, always. But I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I was just making sure I was clear because as I tell you guys, you can send a statement of questions. Hell, y'all know me well enough. Y'all can be like, what's she about to talk about today? And then, I'll just, reiterate or I make my corrections. If I'm wrong, I'll say it in the beginning of the show. Mark Nash, you came in at the end of the show yesterday. That was a spirited debate, right? Did you go back and look up some of the stuff? Did any of y'all go back and look up what I suggested when it concerned the debate that me and ATL had? I looked up the stuff too. I'm sure he did too. I hope he did. But it's not the end of the world. It was a weird ass debate, but it's not the end of the world. I just, like I said, I talk about boxing and I talk about health. I share the wealth because in my lifetime, a lot of things I wish I known earlier. But if I knew somebody like me who don't mind telling everything that they know and what they've learned, I don't know how much further I would be in life. And I have nobody sharing the wealth. Not at all. There's sometimes people like to be stingy with the information. And that's not cool. Quinn said he did walk away. Yeah, he walked away. How all these dudes turning down a title shot, shaking my head, and nobody says nothing, but Crawford is a duck. That's my whole point, Mark Nash. That's what I was trying to tell them. You guys got to be equally fair about the venom that y'all spit. Now spit this motherfucking venom at that nigga Bruce Ennis. I'm just talking about from yesterday when we was talking about nigga. Bruce Ennis deserves some venom to come his way. It's not like he's absolved of any responsibility in this. You let the boxing public believe you were signed to somewhere what you want. And then sit back and watch how the people blame another fighter who ain't done nothing to you for not fighting when it was your choice. So you damn right I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, Team Ennis. Don't mean I dislike you. I think very favorable of you. But, hey, got to hold your feet. Virgil, you can say that he's a duck, but Boots, I don't know. But it's plain and simple, Quentin. He's not signed to anyone. He's legally not bound to anyone. He is a free agent. Point blank, period. He was offered a fight. Point blank, period. A championship fight. Point blank, period. And he turned it down. Point blank, period. There's no wiggle room in that. He said, I told everyone in December that Crawford was going to fight in Rocha or Cody Crawley. Probably so. Yeah. I think you did. Andrew Charles is in the building. Was Papa King said, salute, Miss T. Salute to you. He said, because 1, 2, and 3 going a different route. Yep. Ortiz, Boots, Thurman. Now, like I said, if Boots wanted with Lean, a.k.a. Terrence Bud Crawford, all you got to do is ask. If you're the champion, you should become accustomed to people becking at your heels, trying to get at you. You got something everybody else wants. A champion shouldn't have to chase and hunt down its prey. Prey should be right in front of him. The champion just got to make sure he stay in a position of predator and not prey. That's all. Mark Nash said, I told him then y'all are going to nash him for his Mando bout, not put any pressure on 1, 2, or 3 to step up. He said, Quentin said, what they feel as a bigger money fight, selling their O to a bigger fight financially than Bud. We got to get out this Q. We not going to get nowhere in the welterweight division. You know, we say that, and then we turn around and say, I heard somebody say on my channel, either in the chat or on the panel, said something about, that's fucked up what Crawford doing. He's keeping his belt to make sure that Earl don't get the belt. That might be true. That might be a strategic move that Crawford is doing. Why is anybody mad at that? When David Benavidez lost his fucking belt due to weight, which you put that all in his lap, that is his fault right there. He dropped that ball. And what happened when he lost the belt? As long as he held that belt, Canelo Alvarez would have never been undisputed. And he would have never fought David Benavidez, as he's not fighting him right now. But as soon as David lost that belt, Canelo swooped in like a thief in the night, real quick, and scooped that shit up and became undisputed. Became undisputed by not fighting one of the best, which is David Benavidez. Do you think that's what boxing fans want to see? I'm not with that shit. You're not going to stand up here and hit your chest, talking about Captain Caveman, and you sitting up here maneuvering around like you scared to fight this person or that person. I can't be a fan of that. That's why I be tripping when y'all be saying shit about Bud. I don't see that in Bud. Y'all forget last year during the WBC conference that they have annually in November, Bud sent a representative to rep him and asking to be the mandatory for Spence. His actions back up his words. Spence does not, and a lot of times, how I see it. But I ain't bashing Spence. But this Boost thing, Boost has been elevated, as I said yesterday, just to protect Spence. That's what he is, a barrier to Spence. He's the moat around the castle of Spence. Spence is the castle. Boost is the moat. That's what they use him for. Quentin said, at some point, when does Bud fans want to see more everything ducking Bud is y'all narrative to justify he's not fighting top level? Listen, I don't know how to explain it any other way, Quentin. Like, I'm speaking English. And I said this yesterday. And Big Fish said, "Oh, you talking down?" No, I'm not talking down. I'm talking as a matter of fact. I'm speaking English. Virgil Ortiz said he didn't want it. That's ranked number 1. 2 through 5 was with Showtime or PBC. If Bud couldn't get Spence, who is with PBC, why would he sign a contract to fight any other PBC fighter? If anybody can intelligently answer that question, I'm all ears. So 1 through 5 was out the question. Number 6 was David Avenesian. As per the WBO rules, Bud has to defend his title 9 months intervals, 18-month intervals for a mandatory. In the year 2022, Bud had no fight. When it became clear that Team Spence, to include Al Heyman, Floyd, and everybody, we're not going to make that fight until the very next year, 2023. That means if Bud would have sat on his hands and did nothing, the WBO would have stripped him. Now, I have to ask y'all, what are you asking me? Why Bud won't just get stripped and get fucked up the ass? Because that's what we want to happen to him. Why he protects himself? Or do you really have a legitimate question? Because I don't see how that's not understood. You can still be for your boy Spence and understand that. But y'all don't. Y'all scream Black Power, but at the same time, shitting on a company that's supposed to be a Black-ran company. In actuality, it's not. But I ain't going to get into that. I'll let y'all figure that shit out. But y'all say it's a Black-run company, but its only crime, their only crime is doing nice to Bud or doing a solid to him or doing work with him where they did not use him or assassinate his character or anything like that, where he actually had to come up. You know, you was happy when Bud was like, Al Heyman said, take it or leave it. If not, me and Spence will go and get a 10, what is that, 8-figure salary, basically 10 million or more, and leave your ass in the dust. I'm paraphrasing. Y'all were happy with that statement. Y'all was cool with that. But Bud got to hear that, eat that, digest that, and then make a lemon out of lemonades that he was dealt. So he did. Okay, you and Spence can go get 8 figures. Let me show you I can too. And then y'all proceed to talk about how he ain't getting that money, when everybody who would know said that he's getting the money. But really, it only matters 2 people. BLK said it and Bud said it. Y'all spent a lot of time saying that shit ain't true. I mean, I'm hoping that y'all hear the ridiculousness of it all. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. At Quentin Bradley, you wasting breath, laugh out loud. What's up with my right brother? He said, General Big Fish, I know that I'm just stating facts and looking for smoke. It's all good, Big Fish. He ain't wasting his breath. Maybe he need clarification. You know, I do too sometimes. I don't mind asking. Would have been ranked in the pound for pound too. Exactly. He dropped the ball. His team sucks. Yep. Yeah. Now I don't know if y'all really Boost fans or you just hate Bud that much. Because Boot is the moat and Spence is the castle. Y'all do know that, right? can't debate with the resume and box rec. Those are opinions. As long as you and I both know, those are opinions. That, like I said, I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong, because I can never tell you that you're wrong. Plus, nigga, you undefeated, Quentin, right? Ain't y'all team undefeated? Said T, have you stopped quoting Bozy Ennis? He only knows what goes on in the gym. Nah, he don't get no pass. Bozy and Floyd Sr. don't know. And don't bring Floyd Sr. in here. Floyd Sr. ain't did nothing to none of y'all. Mr. Dixon is in the building. What's Papa King? He said aerosexuals. He said you didn't hear it. I heard it. Y'all can go look that up. It for some reason wasn't playing over here. But I gotta get to my story. What I came on here for. Quentin Bradley said, "Ooh, that's propaganda. You didn't hear the ref say stop." Quentin, I'm saying I didn't hear it. I'm not negating that he didn't say stop. I'll take y'all word for it. You never got an argument out of me for that. But I said what I don't know is protect yourself at all times. All of us know that. What I don't know is if a referee says stop and then he reiterates it or whatever. That ref didn't do a whole lot of reiteration, in my opinion. But if he reiterated or whatever, does everything that happens after he says stop, do it count or don't it count? I'm not aware of such a rule. That's what I just said. He said, Bud Buddy's the fuck. Quinn said, but the main casual fanboy, fan dudes be the main ones trying to call it fan and aerosexual, but you won't click the link because you would expose you don't know shit about boxing, and I'm up for a few. Hey, look, y'all click the link. I'm going to drop the link in a minute. Quentin is undefeated. And you're right. He'll debate you. It's all love over here. Debate rounds any day soon as the link is dropped. Okay, so let me hurry up and get through while we here. Because I wanted to clarify to the person who wrote me. Thank you for writing me. And I hope that cleared it up. But for me, it was just that simple. It was just that simple. Okay. So we talking about Tank and Ryan, right? I'm gonna go on record and say it's official. I always, I got in Ryan's ass a lot. We have our problems with both Ryan and Tank. But and I always say too, I ain't gonna believe it till I see it. But now they just did the first kickoff press conference. So I'm gonna say with the official announcement and the kickoff of the press conference, the shit is real. I ain't gonna lie, we all are not sure if Ryan and Tank is going to really happen, but hey, with the kickoff press conference, like I said, boom. And why we feel that way, oddly enough, is because both of them can be unreliable at times. Ryan, it's simple. I always thought that Ryan used Tank's name and other fighters' names to generate interest in looking at the fight that he was putting on at the current time, and that he had no intentions of fighting anybody else. I'm sure Ryan don't agree with that assessment. And Tank's propensity to fight fighters most of us don't want to see, as well as him not being pressed for legacy fights. Like Tank is in it for the money, has always kind of been in it for the money. If he changed, then he changed, but that's what it was. And I don't know who would advise a new fighter to do that. You got plenty of time in your career, namely in the twilight years, to just be about the money. But in the beginning, make sure you be about the legacy, because that's how people going to remember you. They're not going to remember, oh, you made a lot of money. And as I told y'all, unless y'all breaking Floyd records, miss me with the fucking sales of pay-per-views and all that shit. Miss me with it. So Tank Davis, by far, is one of the biggest star attractions in boxing today. He easily attracts casuals. He really does. I get calls from family members who I know don't watch boxing on the regular, but they know I'm into it. So they be like, "Ooh, that yellow fella, that yellow short fella, I like him." That's what they say. And I be like, "Tank Davis, the yellow fella, okay." Sound like a 5-year-old kid. 5-year-olds be very descriptive. That brown person said, and be like, they even call somebody orange. Why they like Tank? Because we know that Tank sells out wherever he goes, east, west, or everything between. It doesn't matter what area you put Tank in, he gonna do good. Take him to the Barclays, he's gonna do good. You take him to State Farm Arena in Atlanta, he gonna do good. You take him in DC, he gonna do good. You take him to Vegas, he gonna do good. You take him to Cali, he's gonna do good. Can we say that about Ryan? Not so much. We cannot say that. So that's why with Tank, East Coast, West Coast, and everything between. We can't really speak on Tank's pay-per-view numbers because in this era, we as boxing fans are all too familiar with the fact that we're not getting accurate pay-per-view buys. So that would not be a porch I would stand on. I'm not preaching from that. Now, Ryan Garcia by far has captured the most social media following, which will serve him well, to his brand. However, he has not proven that his followers translate into boxing fans. He ain't really proved that. And I'm not knocking him when I say that, but they followers nonetheless. That's good for him when he wants to do commercials and have sponsors, but not much else. So why that's a good thing for Ryan? Simply put, the money. Ryan's going to make money regardless. So he's not in the predicament of a lot of these other fighters who just start out. He's already 10 million to the good being a boxer. Ryan got Gatorade commercials. Anybody who wants Ryan to wear that shit, you got to pay him. He's going to be successful even beyond boxing. He can walk away from boxing right now, and he's good. I don't even think Tank got as much money as Ryan, to be honest. And I mean, it's all about the money, right? Because when you it's prize, it's all about the money and the prize. If when y'all men know how y'all are, money, power, respect, key to life. Y'all know it's like that. So let's not turn off the logic now. That's what it's about. And that's what makes both of them interesting, because even the followers of Ryan, who could be considered casual fans, maybe they'll be interested in knowing he fighting Tank. Maybe then his social media would translate into boxing fans, because Tank has the propensity to garner casual fans. He is good at that. Some people are like that. Another person I could point to that's similar like that is Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman can get casual fans. If you want to say it's their swag, it's the way they look, it's what they do in the ring, I don't know. But one thing that's similar about Keith and Keith and Tank, is that they both have knockout punches. They can knock you out with one punch. And that's the thing. And see, Ryan, unlike all the other fighters, he don't really have to worry about the prize. If you lowball him or whatever, he can fight for the prize and be adamant about it. He ain't hurting for nothing. It's kind of like me doing this channel. I could do this channel or not. It does not supplement my income in no way, shape, or form. I get paid what I get paid, whether I sit here and do this channel or not. And I do realize I'm not knocking nobody else, because there are YouTube creators who rely on this for the pay that they can get. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And that's why they go hard in the pay and do extracurricular little shit that might be malicious in nature or whatever. I don't do all that. I don't have to do that. I can stop today. And my lifestyle ain't gonna change. And that's why I think I know how that feels. So I'm bringing that up, not bragging. But Ryan, he strikes me as that person. He don't gotta do this shit. He gonna be good with boxing or not. The following that he got on social media alone can feed him real good. Like, can you imagine his YouTube checks? This nigga got 8 million or so followers. 8 million. And now he doing commercials. He got advertising, endorsements, sponsors. He good. But them two coming together, to me, is like a powerhouse union, because they got attributes in their own rights that are powerful. When you bring these two together, you're gonna get an explosion, because Tanks is gonna activate the casuals. Ryan got them followers. Some of them are casuals that can be activated by Ryan fighting Tank. Real boxing fans gonna want to see it. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. Y'all know I've been protesting PBC for a year. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna go on record. If this fight happens, this is a fight I will buy it. But there's certain things that they can do that'll make me not want to buy it. And it's a PBC Golden Boy creation, right? But we're going to get into that, because I want to ask all of you, what would you suggest to PBC and Golden Boy to make sure this fight go off without a hitch and be successful? That's what I'm getting at with saying all this. You know what I'm saying? The fight is set for April 22nd this year, and the location have not been announced. And one problem is because fans, this could be a problem. Fans are uncertain if either one will follow through. Don't be surprised if it is not the big crowd as expected. And that's my speculation. Because if you look at their past, Tank Davis past and Ryan Garcia, it is possible or plausible that this shit don't happen. Well, it's possible that something out the ordinary can happen to delay it. And you talking about real fans. They got to dig in their pocket. That's why I think they're hesitating about picking the location. And that's just a guess on my part. They want to maximize the participation or the turnout of the variety of fans that could come out and see this thing. So I'm going to make my suggestion. I'm going to drop the link, and you guys can make your suggestion, or you can talk about whatever that I've already said and this, that, and other. This could potentially be one of the biggest fights this year or for the next decade. But a lot of things got to happen for that to be the case. Not just with Tank and Ryan, but the key players too. For me, I do got to keep my guard up to brace for a disappointment. But I'm also a little optimistic. And that's why I said, if this fight goes down, that protest that I did all of 2022, I'll rescind it only for this fight. And then I'll be back up on my protest porch. I will go ahead and buy this fight, even if PBC do the whole thing. But I know it's going to be PBC, Golden Boy together. But for this, I will break my protest. Now, this what got to happen. This is my suggestion, and let me get the link so I can put it in the chat, and you guys can chime in how you suggested. I say it can't be a trash undercard. Cannot be a trash undercard. You can't have a bunch of unknowns, or like fights where You got to stop, PBC. And this go for everybody, really. But I know I'm talking to PBC. Stop putting fights together where the audience can clearly see that one side is going to beat. We need the thrill of the unknown. That's what boxing fans are craving. The thrill of the unknown. We need to be able to look at a fight and be like, well, this person got that and that person got that. I don't know, 70-40, 70-30, 60-40, 50-50. I don't know. We got to be saying shit like that. We can't look at it like, man, Tank gonna murder this dude. Then why would I want to look at it? And then you turn around and charge me to see something I know is going to happen? PBC, you got to get better with that. So no trash undercard. No crazy ass location neither to be favoring nobody. Put it in a neutral place. Now, I know one is from the West Coast, one is from the East Coast, but I'm going to tell you, to me, the best location going to be New York. And don't charge no ridiculous ass price. Don't do it to yourself. Because if you charge a ridiculous ass price, you gonna knock people out. And this is my suggestion. The co-main should be Boots versus Rashidi Ellis. Why? Because in their last outing, them two was knuckling up heads or something. They was talking shit like they about it. Now, Rashidi Ellis didn't have a favorable outcome for himself, and Boots did, but both of their fights was a disappointment. It was, to a lot of fans, both of those fights were disappointing. Then they talking shit. Here you go, Rashidi. Here's a reprieve. Here go a second chance. Shit, Boots Ennis against Blair Cobb. Blair Cobb been calling for him for a long time. What more do Blair got to do? How much more do Blair got to disrespect him? Boots, if you know you can beat him, this is these in-between fights that you need to take. Because Blair Cobbs will definitely help you sell a fight. Rashidi Ellis and you could sell a fight. So I think y'all should be co-main. Frank Martin versus Rowley. Frank Martin versus Cobra. Or Frank Martin versus Russell. That's Mr. Gary Russell. Hey, put him in there. On the undercard. Get a female fight. To come up on the card. Make sure it's a good one. And have that bitch in New York at the Barclays or MSG. And don't charge over $50 to $60. And that is what you need to do to have a good card. What's up, Q, my brother? What's good? What got on it?
Oh man, what's good with it, Miss T? What's good with it?
What's good with it? Talk to me.
Oh man, chilling, man. Just enjoying some of this good boxing talk and discussions, man. Say, man, I'm gonna tell you something. Now, this is just my opinion, right? Not saying that this is a fact. But you were speaking on earlier about Virgil and him being a duck, right?
Yeah.
And from the information that we have received from that president, I can honestly say that's what you call an official duck right there. Anytime an opportunity or a contract has been presented, not that backyard, meet me behind the playground, after school, call out ducking. Now, in professional boxing, I don't never consider that ducking. But if you're a contender and you've been offered a fight at a champion, not once, but twice, regardless of whether he turned it down, Golden Boy turned it down, we can call that an official duck. I'm waiting to hear from Boots Ennis because he got to say something, right? Because I feel like his daddy talked out of turn. I believe his daddy talked out of turn, and we need some clarification from Mr. Boots Ennis, because if not, then I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and debate on, quote unquote, the public perception that is being displayed by the YouTube masses right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can't, you know what I'm saying? I would love to hear from Boots Ennis because, like I say, I done seen an example of this before when Floyd Mayweather Sr. was speaking up on Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s business, and Floyd Mayweather Sr. didn't know what he was talking about. So I done seen this before.
Yeah,
So I ain't
that's
gonna say it's
possible.
yes. So that's why I say I ain't gonna say it's yay or nay. I really wanna. I'm really looking forward to hearing something from Boots because YSM, uh, you know, they done crunk it up with this interview with Boots Ennis. They might as well go on do they got to do some type of damage control or some type of clarification because man, uh, I don't want this to be the case, right? Because this is
Mm-hmm.
also my opinion. Me personally, like I say, I don't have nothing against Bud Crawford. I think he's a phenomenal father. He's black man, right?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, I would just like to see it against somebody, as opposed to keep hearing that everybody's ducking this man, like everybody's terrified of this man. And I don't believe everybody's terrified of this man. I believe that it's a combination of the money, what the boxers think they're gonna make, what they're not gonna make, and what he want, and what they're gonna get. I believe that plays more of a part than somebody ducking somebody. Because at the end of the day, you can only stay undefeated for so long. And in boxing, that's when boxing used to be great. The undefeated shit didn't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Plenty greats done lost. They just all want to get paid, Miss T.
I agree.
Yeah.
In this we in the Floyd Mayweather era, trying to
Mm.
strategically, without damaging ourselves, get out that mindset. But do you think it's a far like? Do you think it's a far reach for people like me
Okay.
to listen to what Bozy said? I don't know Bozy to be fumbling over his words. That type of gentleman, like Floyd Senior. Floyd Senior is an elderly man. Let's not get it
Mm.
twisted. He's considered a senior citizen, still in great shape to be as old as he is, and he was a boxer. So there might be some CTE damage or whatever, a little bit, but and he do put the cart before the horse. He has at times, but why should I give Bozy wiggle room? Why shouldn't I report something as I see it? This are facts. Bozy said he won't sign. So he's stating a fact. Now, I mean, but like you said, uh, maybe Boots got to clean it up. But if he wasn't signed, then for me, that's a nugget. I'd be like, well, why you let the boxing community think that you signed with Showtime? Even if you never said I was signed to Showtime, you heard everybody say that, and you never corrected that. Number one. Number two, you was offered a fight. Now you can feel how you want to feel about BLK, but what you can't
Mm.
say is that they don't know how to put a fight on. You can't say that because they just showed you they did. But feelings should not be a factor. The fact is, BLK, according to Bozy, offered them a deal and they turned it down. Why would you walk away from a potential championship belt,
Hold
which
on,
would have
Miss T.
gave you
Didn't he?
leverage?
But hold on. Watch this. Now. Watch this. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here can be a counter.
Mm-hmm.
He also said in the interview that, quote unquote, he did say, holla at Showtime. That they was trying to get him to do something without Showtime. Even though I listened to the interview,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know why he made that statement that he made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go to Google and you type in Jerron Boots Ennis
Mm-hmm.
and you ask who his promoter is, it's gonna say Cameron Duncan. When it asks who he signed to and who he fight for, who televised it, it says Showtime, right? But I don't know if they had something legally or they doing handshake type agreement, right?
You sound like it.
Because watch this. I was semi shocked today, but I wasn't shocked today when I saw the press conference. And Lord and behold, I saw Mr. Leonard Booger Ellaby. That nigga done growed a Snow White beard. You know that. But for the longest, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that last fight, he just had with Hector Garcia.
Right.
I was up under the impression that he wasn't with Mayweather Promotions no more. But as we saw today at the press conference, Leonard Ellaby spoke up. So my question is, this man still with Mayweather Promotions? I thought he left.
The only plausible answer I can give, and I'm speculating here, is if you take Mayweather at his word that PBC is me and I am PBC. And if you go to Drink Champs, when Mayweather did an interview about 3 years ago, he said he broke down how he could be, because Mayweather talk around shit sometimes, but you hear what he's saying, and he's like, "Oh, but I own. What if you own the LSC? It don't have to be in your name and blah 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 blah." I'm like, okay, Mayweather. If you take him at his word, he own it. Leonard works for Mayweather, right? Al is an advisor. Some people say to get around the Muhammad Ali Act because that has nothing legally to do with how he do business. There's nothing legally to do with the rules of the Muhammad Ali Act. So, but I think they did say that Tank is still with PBC, but he's not with Mayweather no more. So, in the case of that, as Mayweather would say, Mayweather, PBC, you still work for me. So that's the only thing I can give you as far as Leonard Booger Nose Johnson showing up to the motherfucking press conference. Then that's why he was there. As far as Boots saying, Bozy saying, you got to go talk to Showtime. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If me and you have a business transaction, I'm trying to do business with you. You saying you doing business with me. I don't got to talk to nobody who ain't got nothing to do with this business. And if Boots is not legally contracted to Showtime, I don't got to talk to Steven Espinosa or PBC because Boots is not legally contracted to either one. I showed y'all the article where it said he's not legally contracted to PBC, and you heard from Bozy said they got a gentleman's agreement. Now, where they do that in boxing, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's why I say, by him saying that, and by what we've been believing and what we can go Google and read, that's why I say before I just really just pass full judgment on that one, I want to hear from Boots in it, you know what I'm saying? Because, man, I ain't gonna lie. Those are questions in which, like I say, from a perspective in which you seeing it from, I can't debate against it. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of contradictions from what we've been believing, what we done heard, and what we can go look up and read. So I'm very curious to hear. Boots got to say something. He got to say something.
He got to clean it up, or people can stop using him as the moat, as to Spence Castle. Stop doing that shit. We'll get off the back. But Big Fish, I got you in here. What you got to say on it?
Boss T, what's going on?
What's good with you?
Well, my right brother Quentin, what's going on, dog?
What's good with it, my right brother?
Undefeated on the channel, okay?
What's that, Miss T? What you said?
I said the undefeated brothers on the channel.
Nah, you kick our ass every time we come out here, Miss T. What you talking about?
Y'all know I'm not having it. I'm not having
especially last night. After last night, I put me an application in to ride the short bus this morning.
Hey, look, I ain't got the best ears, Big Fish, but when I hear. You know, that's all I can say.
I feel you. It ain't the.
What you say? What you say?
Hey,
We
but
lost you. We lost you. Said I
hey,
feel you. It
hey,
ain't.
hey, but what you been you done touched on several different topics tonight, Miss T. So I don't know where to begin. But I'm a start off with this, to get my boy Terrence Crawford. And and again, I don't have no dislike for Terrence Crawford. I dislike his fan base and the YouTube community. That's who I really have a problem with. My issue with Terrence Crawford started with a $100 bet that I made about 5 or 6 years ago. So that's where my dog in the race is on my bet. So I just want to disclose that real quick. But
Okay.
this is Terrence Crawford has a wonderful resume, but he doesn't have the resume that I respect in the sense of opponent list. Like the greatest of all time, when he talked about his career, and please forgive the bad imitation, but he would say things like this. He wouldn't say, I was the undisputed champion at heavyweight. I had the WBC title and I had the IBF title. He don't talk like that. He say, I beat Sonny Liston. I beat Joe Frazier. I beat George Foreman. I beat Ken Norton. Like he got shit like that to say. Terrence Crawford can't say shit like that. He got to just say, I'm undisputed at 140 and all that bullshit. So the man, and I heard what you said last night, Miss T. He wanted to fight in 2022. What I don't understand about that, and I heard you say tonight that they would have stripped him of his title if he didn't get that fight in. I beg to differ. It just like Earl Spence got a special exception to not lose his belt and fight Keith Thurman at 154. Allegedly, the same thing would have applied to Terrence Crawford. They were not about to strip Terrence Crawford of their belt and not have their name, the WBO, listed on that fight card on the fight when Spence and Crawford got in that ring. They were not about to strip him. What it's all about, T, is money. The man wanted money. He wasn't getting his way at the negotiating table, so he took his ball and ran. So therefore, now we got to talk about Boots ducking him and Ortiz ducking him, but we not talk. But y'all don't want to talk about the biggest duck move of them all is when he ran away from the negotiating table when he was finally at the negotiating table for the first time with a realistic chance of making this fight happen. The man ran. He ducked.
But
It's no convincing me otherwise, Miss T.
I feel you indeed. But like I said, I don't like to offer opinions as facts. When it comes to him running from the negotiation table, you can't run from a negotiation table for the year 2022 when the other negotiators are talking about a whole nother year. So you can't run from negotiating table. I will put it to you like this. I hope I say it right because I had a guy friend help me out with this. So let me pose this challenge to all y'all men. If you have a girl that you really want to bang, really want to get them draws, and she tell you maybe first quarter in 2023, and it could be a legitimate reason, it could be any reason, but it could be a legitimate reason. Maybe she's pregnant at the time, and she don't want to have sex during her pregnancy because she can't. Maybe she's sick or whatever, and she just ain't got it in her to perform. So she said, wait till the first quarter of 2003, but you'll get it. Now we in the summer of 2022. Y'all men gonna wait till the first quarter of 2023 to get the jaws? You're not gonna do it. you gonna take every opportunity you got in 2022 to get you some draws. Now, what you do in December is not going to preclude you or stop you from getting the draws in the first quarter of 2023. And y'all niggas know that shit. And that's some logic for your ass. But when it comes to
And you know
boxing,
what? And
y'all
you know what,
turn
Miss
that
T?
off. What's up?
Check this out, Miss T. I kind of felt like that was an unfair assessment you just gave just now, right? Because you know damn well motherfucker not gonna wait, right? When it comes to that. But
I would, but I'm gonna wait it out. But I'm gonna get some action in while I'm waiting, and that's what Crawford should.
That's
That's what, and that's what
and that's what he did.
That's what he did.
But you know what, Miss T? But on the flip side, right? This is why we say he's a duck, right? Because y'all say that he's been trying to get the Earl Spence fight for how many years?
4 to 5.
He say he been trying to get it for about 4 or 5 years. Okay, so he's been having the hardest time getting the fight, right? He ain't never had the opportunity to even sit at the table. None during these 5 years. This wasn't it's been that backyard, that meet me behind the school bus. We're gonna get it on. That's what y'all been calling ducking all these years, right? Because no contract or no real true opportunity for them to truly fight due to them being on different networks was the reason why we never saw it as a duck, right? But the first opportunity that he had, and he's been trying to get this fight, you just said for about 4 or 5 years? You've been waiting 4 or 5 years? You mean to tell me you couldn't wait a little bit more to get the fight that you said that you really want? That's why we say as fans, he ducked and he dropped the ball and he ran from negotiations and fought David Avocado.
What is the problem with waiting? What is the problem with him doing something in this year? Because it ain't gonna change or stop nothing for next year. What's the problem?
Miss T, the problem is that the word that Stephen Espinosa used was blindsided. It would have been nothing wrong with him saying, hey, let's secure this fight. Let's sign it for 2023. But in the meantime, I'm going to go fight David Avenesian. He didn't do that. He said, fuck y'all. I ain't getting my way. I'm leaving. And then expect for them to sit around and wait for when he get through to then come back to the table. Nah, that was a dirty move, Miss T. I'm sorry.
Knock down
was
305. I see you knock down 305. And Big Fish, I can almost agree with that. Before I go to ATL, I'm gonna tell you this.
Oh, I ain't got nothing to say about this.
I know you don't. We moving on. But before I go over there, I will say this, Big Fish. I can't be mad at one side when the other side doing the same thing. The difference is David Avenesian said yes. Canelo said no. Because they didn't sit down and say, hey, bud, we're actually angling to get this fight with Canelo. And if we're able to get it, then you just have to wait a little bit longer. They didn't do that to Bud. They negotiated behind closed doors.
But they wasn't in talks at the time, Miss T. You can't use that same comparison.
I can, because you know why? Because Errol Spence, April 16, 2022 said, y'all know who I want. I want that nigga Terrence Crawford. I'm coming to take his shit too. And then May, you go negotiating to get Canelo. You didn't tell Bud
when did Errol Spence ever negotiate with Canelo? See, that's where y'all messing up at. He never negotiated with Canelo. PBC offered Canelo
that's
a different series of fights. Errol Spence did not one time his team ever negotiated with Canelo. PBC was trying to entice Canelo on a fight in which he fight either Big Charlo, or if he didn't want to take the Big Charlo fight, take David Benavidez and Errol Spence. They was trying to get a package. They wasn't just trying to serve up just Errol Spence.
Is Errol Spence a child? Is he a child? Then you gonna walk into that wall every time. Then he has accountability. You can't hide behind your daddy, aka husband. You can't hide behind him. He's not a child. You let Al speak for you, then you let Al speak for you. That's how.
He's his advisor. He represents him. He works for him.
He represents him, and whatever his daddy say, he does.
Miss T, would you say that about?
He got his best interest at heart. That's what he's supposed to do.
Miss T, would you say that about Michael Jordan and David Falk?
Michael Jordan and who?
David Falk. His.
So Bob wasn't Crawford daddy.
When Bob was in, you just said you ain't had nothing to do with ATL. So
I'm just saying, you're trying to put my man under. You're trying to put my man down now. Was Bob Arum Tan's Crawford daddy?
When Bob Arum had control, he was. But you said
Miss T conceded because here's the point.
His history is being made.
I ain't concede no point. I said when Bob was in control, he was in control.
Yeah.
You mad if y'all mad because I called. If y'all mad because
I expected
I ain't mad.
If y'all mad because I call Al Hammond his daddy or his husband, y'all got.
Oh my God!
No. Mad is not the emotion that I get when you say that. I just disagree with that. That don't. Al Hammond is paid to do a job that Earl Spence is not experienced to do. So why would Earl Spence go in and try to negotiate fights for himself when he's going to get fucked in the long run? It's just, and let me just say this, Mr. T. Are you familiar with Lamar Jackson's situation right now?
No,
he has his mother representing him.
I don't know who that is.
Lamar Jackson is
the football player for Baltimore.
Quarterback. He has
the Ravens.
I don't look at football. I told y'all that.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out on the example, Miss T. He has his mother representing him for his business. The NFL, they don't want to deal with her, so they're blackballing him right now because he doesn't have the type of representation that they respect. So that's the need for Al Hammond. He is the person that Earl Spence needs to represent him, or someone like Al Hammond. It don't have to be Al Hammond, but all boxers have managers to handle their business.
But Big Fish, and all boxers do not give carte blanche control over their career to their promoter / advisor. All boxers don't do that. Earl Spence is one of them who do. So the onus is still on him. It does not absolve him from responsibility and accountability. It just doesn't.
Accountability for what, Miss T?
For his career.
Okay, because his career is going pretty good so far.
Don't look.
If you're talking about his career,
don't look like it to me.
But watch this here, Miss T. That's the opinion of only one fan base. That's not the opinion of the boxing world. The boxing world will tell you otherwise. The boxing world respects Earl Spence, respects his resume, respects the fact that he ain't taking no avocado tune-ups.
And
after coming off accidents, he fighting real opponents, some that you can respect and you can't give a nickname.
So hold on, Tay. We gotta wait our turn. So Q.
Sorry about that.
You can say the same thing for Crawford. That's one fan base who believes like they believe about Crawford. All that huffing and puffing you just did, keep that same energy, because the whole boxing world don't feel that about Terrence Crawford. Fighters and ex-Hall of Famers don't feel that about Terrence Crawford. They casted his hand. He done had won all kinds of awards. So when you try to present it as facts, like the whole boxing world feels a certain kind of way about Terrence, like y'all feel, that's not a fact. So we can go both ways with that.
Hold on. We'll watch this here. Y'all respect that pound for pound list, right? That's the number one thing y'all respect, right?
I don't pretty much care for it,
but for the most part, can we agree that the majority of the Bud Crawford fans put a lot of honest on that pound for pound. They put a lot of stock in the pound for pound list, right?
Yeah, some people
So
do.
watch this here. So watch this here. So this is what I'm saying. When you have different boxing writers that acknowledge the fact that Bud Crawford is a pound for pound fighter, but in the same article, they also say that his resume is lackluster. That's not not me. I done seen several articles. That's why I'm saying that's why I'm saying the boxing world outside of that particular fan base. Anybody that's not a moron with Terrence Bud Crawford, a lot of them feel like he ain't fighting nobody that he should be fighting. Let me just state it that way. He ain't fighting nobody that he should be fighting, being quote unquote the boogeyman, being quote unquote pound for pound number one, being quote unquote we should be seeing you fight the best.
Well, let their
or something close to it.
Well, let their actions reflect their words.
Miss T, you know who in here? Ain't no weirdos in here, is Miss T?
Ain't no. Well,
I don't need none of that weirdo shit.
Well, let their actions reflect their words, Q.
Miss T.
Because don't cut across me, ATL.
No, I'm just saying, do you know who in here?
Yeah, Tay.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to make sure. I don't want no more of that weirdo shit going on.
He showed his face before he came in.
Who did some weirdo shit, ATL?
They was jerking off.
But anyway, came on here jerking off.
People be doing that crazy.
Oh shit! Oh,
hey,
see,
where you go?
See, that's what I be talking about.
But
that I be talking about.
We can add that shit. That was
he showed his face, y'all.
That don't mean nothing. The other dude showed his face too.
No, he didn't. You're not on this side of the.
He just did it quick, goddamn.
He didn't do that. I'm telling you, he showed his face. Anyway,
okay.
Let me tell you again. So
I was walking my phone.
In the end of the day, let their actions Q reflect their words. If that's what they write, then Terrence Crawford shouldn't get all these accolades. But since until that day happened, then I'm gonna give him all his flowers. And if Earl got flowers, I'll give him all his flowers. You know, if y'all believe that Earl is the best, then hey, I can't argue no feelings or debate no feelings, but I can argue facts. That's all I'm saying. So let me go to
you know, between those two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me get out. Yeah, I'm just say this and get out the way.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. You know, far as both of them being the best, that's something that got to be settled in the ring.
They do.
I'll never debate on Nate because at the end of the day, that's something that got to be settled in the ring. But when it comes to 147 in that resume, you know what I'm saying, and the type of opponents, I'll go tooth and nails all day long that Earl Spence got the better resume and fought the better competition at 147 than Bud Crawford.
But that
can't be debated.
Long as you admit that that's your opinion, no problem.
That's my opinion.
There you go.
That's just my opinion.
There you go.
I passed the mic.
I'm gonna pass it to Tay ATL only because he gonna get in on that part of the conversation, and then y'all gonna tell me what suggestions do y'all have for PBC/Golden Boy to make this a successful fight with Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. But go ahead, Tay, what you got on it?
I'll let everyone else go before. I just want to I'll talk about Tank later. But okay. I think most people don't have Terrence Crawford on their list of pound for pound just because of one weight division. It's his whole entire career. So I don't know, why are we like so stuck on like 147? Like all of his other accolades didn't like also happen. Like I've never heard that before. You know, and I don't know, maybe I'm too young. But I agree. I don't think Bud's resume is better than Errol Spence at 147. But nobody it turned off.
Tay. Now there y'all have it. That's a Bud fan who agreed with you, Q, Fish, and ATL. He agrees with y'all.
I didn't say nothing. No, I was just responding back for you. Were you talking about Earl Spence and his daddy?
But ATL, but in the past, you do agree that you think Spence has a better resume. Y'all see how I act about it? Yeah. I ain't tripping. That's an opinion.
Definitely.
Y'all got opinions.
No, definitely. It ain't no opinion.
It's an opinion.
It's a fact.
You gonna have to stop.
It's a fact.
Benavidez fought Garcia.
You could pull up everybody who fucking Crawford fought to who Spence fought. If you want to go there,
but
and see who got a better resume.
That's not true. You can't
pull it up. Pull it up.
Now listen, I'm not, because that's an
opinion. Okay.
You can't even agree with your boy Q. It's an opinion.
This nigga come back from drunk accidents and still don't have no tomato cans on his resume.
Listen, he do.
That's facts. That's big facts. Big facts.
And in some people's mind, he does. It's an opinion, y'all. Y'all making an opinion about people who fought either one of them. And that's all I'm saying. I ain't saying you right or wrong.
Fought nobody who you don't know.
I'm not saying you right or wrong. Yes, he did.
Answer that question.
I didn't know Chris Van Herden. I didn't know Bundu. I didn't know Phil LaGreco. I didn't know Lotto. Yeah, I didn't know half.
You talking about prospect fights? Talking about when he was a champion, though. He didn't fight no Phil LaGreco. He didn't fight no Van Herden as a champion. Them up and coming fights.
And Crawford fights people on his ranking board.
Man, ain't no Ben Snead.
But
I just explained this, and again, y'all don't understand English.
He fought Ben Snead. He fought all the Earl trash.
But Miss T, watch this here. You just made my point just now, Miss T. Everybody bad that you named on Earl Spence's resume that could be considered quote unquote tomato cans. You name people that he fought before he was a champion.
I like what we telling you. Qualified.
Well, what we be trying to tell y'all is the fact that the same type of people that Earl Spence was fighting before a champion, that's what Bud fights now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, listen.
That's what Bud fights now.
Listen, this is how y'all sound.
That's what he fights now.
This is how y'all sound. If I call Earl Spence a drunk, DUI, having somebody, right?
He was.
You gonna say between 16 and 18, he wasn't a drunk driver. Only judge him for those 2 years. What y'all saying? I got E Thriller on the board. What's popping?
Go Thriller. No.
Go Thriller. What you got on it?
Hey, what's going on, Miss T? Shout out to the panel. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Shout out to you,
man. What up, ATL? What's popping,
cool, man? You know.
Go Thriller. I'm gonna post you up when I see you.
Hey, man, I'm here trolling, bro. Hey, I don't like how my Wright brothers attacking Miss T, man. I don't like how y'all going at Miss T right now.
Oh shit!
I don't like how y'all going at Miss T, man.
You pour me another shot.
Hey man, let me just say this, ATL. Let me ask you a question, bro, because I did a show on this.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I did a show on this topic about a month ago. Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, I say that you're right. Earl Spence's resume is better than Terrence Crawford.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna roll with your logic, but I got a question for you because I have yet to get an answer to this. Out of all them motherfucking future Hall of Famers that Earl Spence fought, right, and beat at 147, you know the top dogs. Which one of them dudes can't Terrence Bud Crawford beat?
I didn't say he didn't beat all of Earl Spence.
No, hold on.
No, listen.
I'm gonna be quiet. I just want to answer to that question.
Listen,
a 1-2.
He done beat all of Earl Spence's trash and leftovers.
You say what now?
He done beat all Earl. I mean, he done beat all of Crawford. I mean, Crawford beat all of Earl Spence's leftover and trash.
What's leftover?
He ain't fought Mikey, bro. He ain't fought
Crawford beat everybody that Spence beat already.
Hold on. That wasn't my question though. He ain't fought Mikey, question? And he ain't fought Danny. We know why he ain't fight Danny, right? Danny went to go fight Adrian Granados, correct? He turned down a $3 million payday plus pay-per-view upside to go fight Adrian Granados. That's a fact. Go look it up.
Granados?
And Mikey Garcia, we know why he didn't want to fight Bud. He claimed he ran the whole fucking fight in the amateurs. He didn't want no parts. That's a bad matchup stylistically, but he thought he saw something in Earl. That's why he wanted to fight him. He got the bag. I ain't tripping. But my question to you is, my brother, which one of them dudes that Earl Spence fought can't Terrence Crawford beat? Which one of them niggas can beat Terrence Crawford? I guess is
first of all, let me start by saying this.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Why does that even matter?
Oh my God!
I'm gonna tell you. Oh, okay.
No. Answer my question.
So you gonna answer a question?
You're trying to no. I'm trying to take it somewhere else.
I'm gonna answer. Go ahead.
I'm trying to take it somewhere else.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Why does that matter? Okay. No. Hold on. Stop right there. Stop right there.
My question.
Stop right there. He can't beat fucking Ugas because he ain't did it yet.
So you believe that if Terrence Crawford and Yordenis Ugas was the matchup, you picking Yordenis Ugas?
Exactly.
Okay, I would too.
That's fine.
Beat him in the amateurs.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so Yordenis Ugas, is that the only one?
Only one.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
My only one. Like Miss T say, I can't argue with your opinion, even though I think it's asinine. But hey, that's your opinion.
Thriller, I take a prime Kell Brook over Terrence Crawford.
Okay. Who told you he's not prime?
That version of Kell Brook that Terrence Crawford fought, that was the cocaine bear version.
Can I tell you
he
why
was already broken, Miss T. Kell already broken.
Can I tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying?
Was he broken when Earl fought him? Just a question.
Can I tell y'all?
He was.
I believe so.
He was semi.
Yeah, he was, but he was even worse.
So why bring up?
He had one eye, bro.
That's why I don't give Errol Spence credit for
BC. So y'all ain't gonna so I can't.
Yeah, we're gonna let you get an ATL, but I'm gonna say if
I want to tell y'all why I'm saying what I'm saying.
I'm gonna give it to you. If he's broken when he fought Earl and he's broken when he fought Terrence, then that makes
who was broken.
It's a wash. It's a wash, Mister.
He had one dent. He had one dent when he fought Earl. He had 4 when he fought Terrence Crawford in the body. He was.
Hey, let me tell y'all, right?
He was a savage title when he.
I'm finna kill all of y'all, right?
Triple G fucked him up, man. Triple G fucked him. Yeah, Brook up.
He can keep it a book, but y'all won't keep it a book.
Crawford fans right now, right? I'm gonna tell you why I said what I said about Ugas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ugas beat Crawford in the amateurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when Ugas got that belt, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why Crawford ain't try to fight him to get that belt? Huh? He didn't try to fight him to get that belt because he already mentally broke. He already know this man beat him in the amateurs, and he didn't even want to go that way.
Okay, go ahead.
He didn't even want to go that way.
I'm gonna let you finish.
He could have fought Ugas first.
You really believe that?
He could have fought Ugas first.
So you think Al? So wait a minute. So you believe Al Haymon would have allowed Terrence Bud Crawford to come get a belt to make it 2 belts to 2 to fight Errol Spence?
Man, he was scared of Ugas, man. He know Ugas.
That ain't what I asked you, bro. I asked you a specific. You keep deflecting.
I'm deflecting like
you really
Crawford do.
Hold on, let me answer. Let me ask you my question.
He ran from Ugas. He had every chance to fight Ugas for that belt.
I guess you just want to talk. You don't want to answer none of my shit, but I answered you. Good.
He had every chance to fight Ugas for that belt before Spence.
Okay, got you. But now let me ask you a question. Do you believe the great Al Haymon, who positioned Errol Spence to do this motherfucking plan to go get all these belts before he say, hey, I want to fight you last so I can have all the fucking leverage in negotiations? Do you really believe he was going to allow a fighter that is not with the PBC to even the score by getting another belt to make it 2 belts to 2? Do you really believe that was going to happen, bro?
Hey, I don't know what the hell Al Haymon got over Ugas. I don't know that part of it. I don't know who's Ugas' advisor or none of that. But what I do know,
wait a minute, he ain't with the PBC. Wait a minute, Yordenis Ugas not with the PBC now?
No, I'm saying even if he's with the PBC, since Ugas been fighting, I never heard no one say nothing about Al Haymon.
So wait a minute. Oh, so Al Haymon runs. Okay. So this is your logic. You saying that Al Haymon don't run Ugas' business? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying he's not into Ugas like he's into Spence.
That's what he just said.
I don't know. I don't know. Look, okay.
Oh, you don't know?
I'm gonna tell you. Can I tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying? We always hear Al Haymon, Errol Spence. Al Haymon, Errol Spence. Al Haymon, Errol Spence. We don't never hear no Al Haymon, Ugas. Al Haymon, Ugas. So I don't know what the hell Al Haymon controls from Ugas, but we always hear Al Haymon in Spence's business. We don't never hear him compared with Ugas. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that goes without saying. What are you talking about?
Have you ever heard it?
I ain't never heard now nigga on here, and I'm pretty sure General Big Fish and the BFB Master Q can attest to this, that Al Haymon ain't running the show at the PBC.
Okay.
You don't just pick and choose certain fighters, bro, is what I'm saying.
But I'm saying you never hear Yuga's name with Al Heyman.
Bro, we don't hear Yuga's name.
We always hear Errol Spence and Al Heyman, right?
He's irrelevant, bro. The only reason why he got
is this a true or false question? Do we always hear Errol Spence with Al Heyman?
No shit.
I'm just saying, when we talk about Errol Spence, you talk about Al Heyman too, right?
I just did. Wait a minute. Didn't I just say Errol Spence is one of the biggest stars at the PBC? So of course.
No. That too, but what I'm saying is Yugas, even though he's under PBC, we never hear, okay, Al Heyman says Yugas can do this, or Al Heyman says Yugas can't do that. We always hear Al Heyman.
That's my fucking point. He's irrelevant.
You know what I'm saying?
Ugas is irrelevant, bro. That's why you don't.
No, Ugas is not irrelevant because this is what I'm saying.
Ugas is one of the bottom niggas at the totem pole in the PBC.
But Crawford is scared of Ugas because he already beat the brakes off of him.
That's your opinion. That's not a fact. And nigga, you hold on. You got niggas like Sean Porter that actually saw the fucking fight that said he believed Terrence Crawford won in the amateurs. Look it up.
Man, that nigga Sean Porter fucking.
Oh, okay. So now we gonna say that Sean Porter is biased because he
I ain't gonna take
because he cool with Bud. Is that what we gonna do?
Yeah, I ain't taking Sean Porter word.
Sean Porter,
But what was your first question, E-Thriller? What was your first question at ATL? I don't think we got the answer for that one.
No, he
got the answer. He got the answer. You didn't hear.
Specifically, I asked him out of all the niggas on Errol Spence.
I said Yugas.
You gonna let me finish, ATL? Out of all the niggas on Errol Spence's resume, which one of the motherfuckers can beat Terrence Crawford?
I said Yugas.
Ugas.
I said Ugas.
Who else?
Crazy.
I said Ugas.
Crazy.
So you would bet me money if Terrence Crawford versus Ugas get made, you would bet me money.
Bet you money.
Bet.
I would.
Bet.
And Miss T, you know I would.
Hey, look at this stay up here on the panel. Like look what I put up.
Danny Garcia. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. Yep.
So he turned it down, you guys.
He went to go fight Adrian Granados.
There's no point of even talking about Bud ain't fight Danny because Danny didn't want to fight him.
I didn't say nothing about Danny.
I know, but a lot of people say Bud didn't fight this person, Bud didn't fight that person, so now he's ducking. If he fight just somebody worthy,
I'm talking about
that was the point of me asking that question, Miss T, because they like.
I ain't talking about nobody else.
He has tried to fight all these niggas. Bro. Keith Thurman said he wasn't interested in Terrence Crawford when he first moved up. Correct. Earl had a plan. Hold on. Earl had a plan. He couldn't fight Earl. Danny went the other way. Mikey didn't want to fight him. Ugas wasn't even relevant. Sean Porter went to go fight other fights when he had the belt.
How he ain't irrelevant and he the only one that beat Terrence Crawford in the amateur.
Sean Showtime Porter didn't want to fight Bud until he lost his fucking belt. That is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So again, who in the fuck was he supposed to fight if all these niggas is turning down the fights?
And I just
turn down the fight.
Who?
Yes, and Bob Arum have said
did Ugas turn down the fight?
Yes,
I just told you what I thought about the Ugas shit. Al Heyman was not going. Hold on, Al Heyman was not going to let Terrence Bud Crawford get another belt to where it'll be 2 belts to 2, and that would just further legitimize his fucking.
That's your opinion.
No, I'm telling you that.
That's your opinion,
exactly. Bro. But what is going on right now? Didn't Earl have a plan? Didn't he have a plan to get all 3 belts?
I don't know about.
Oh, so now we don't know.
Now
we don't know about.
I don't believe PBC would have allowed that to happen just for the leverage standpoint.
We got to be realistic.
But you asked me, and I said you.
I have a question.
You got static in your phone, ATL. I don't know what's going on.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Tay. What's your question?
I thought he was given like 2 Mandos right after that fight, and remember he was complaining about it. I didn't even think he had time to fight a Bud Crawford. Ugas. As soon as he won that fight, he got 2 Mandos put on him.
Yeah, because Bud tweeted about that shit. He was like, "Man, it's a dirty game." Or whatever. He was like, they already setting up a fight.
Yeah, didn't Errol Spence save Ugas from going into that box off? So how could Bud get to him?
He wasn't gonna get to him. Al Heyman wasn't gonna let that shit happen. ATL know that.
And then I have one more question too. You said Bud is afraid of Ugas because of the amateurs. So is Errol Spence afraid of Castano? Because Castano whooped on him.
No, because Castano don't want to fight Spence.
And we know that because
he can't even beat
First of all, we can't even use the Earl Spence and Brian Castano comparison because they both in 2 weight classes, Mr. Tay.
Oh,
they in 2 different weight classes.
But isn't Earl moving up to 154?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
So was Castano.
And guess what?
Hold on, y'all.
And he gonna go to 154 and fight Brian Castano.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
right
that
now?
amateur shit really
He
don't hold
need
no
to.
weight. Hold on,
He
ATL.
beat him.
ATL, let me ask you a question, bro. Let
He
me
need
make
to
a
fight
statement.
Castano.
ATL, that amateur shit really don't hold a lot of weight in certain cases, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Earl
That's the
Spence
point.
lost to Figueroa, bro, in the amateurs. And we know Earl will wash him in the pros.
You said who lost to Figueroa?
Earl Spence.
Man, I ain't never heard no shit like that.
Look it up.
I heard about Castano.
Look it up.
You know what I'm saying? But
Pull it up, Miss T.
it's neither here nor there.
Put it up, Miss T. No, I'm telling you the truth. Pull it up.
And I'm answering your question once again. If he moves up to 154, he needs to fight Castano, right?
Will wash him in the pros. That's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I'm saying?
That's my point.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know that.
Like Omar Figueroa?
Yes.
I don't know that Spence will watch him as a at 154. And let me tell you why. If you from the streets and you don't ever been in the fight and somebody done whooped your ass before, I done got my ass whipped before, that shit hit you mentally different. You know what I'm saying? So you don't never know how the shit gonna go. I'm not gonna sit here and say I won every fight in the street, me growing up. And some of them fights I lost, that shit still fuck with me mentally to this day. Cause I should have whooped his ass. You feel me? Like straight up, I'm be a man about my shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't win them all, but I fight. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I was trying to get at with Hughes and Crawford. You don't know how people mental is when they lose to somebody. People go different ways when they lose, bro. They emotions come out differently when they lose. So you never know. Even though Terrence Crawford had a great career since then, great, wonderful, untouched. You know what I'm saying? You never know how his mental is to step in the ring against somebody he know who already whooped his ass. Ooh, it's quiet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, not.
Ooh.
You ain't do nothing, man.
It's not
Ooh.
quiet. It's nothing,
Stop
man. I mean,
that.
these guys lose to each other all the time. Look at
Ooh.
what Devin Haney and Shakur
I'm about
Stevenson,
to-
Gervonta Davis, and Ryan Garcia. Them boys always lost and fought each other. They're not scared of each other. So I mean, you don't get the point. Devin Haney is lost to Ryan Garcia. Is he now afraid of Ryan Garcia? Like that's so. And your whole point about moving up in weight classes, you know, like Bud didn't start his career at 147. Like people just forget that shit, man. That's ridiculous.
There you go. Appreciate that, Miss T. Go ahead. Read that.
I ain't gonna lie, a lot of us have though.
Let me see. I was trying to find the title says it all. Omar Figueroa offers Earl Spence Jr. a chance at redemption.
Okay.
Damn.
Hey, I can't believe you didn't know about that shit, bro. Because Earl, your man's.
Man, I killed y'all there. I don't hear that.
You ain't killed nothing, man. Stop
I
that
killed
shit.
y'all there. Everybody got quiet.
Ain't nobody.
I'm just listening to all your propaganda.
Everybody started thinking about who whooped their ass when they was little.
If you feel like Ugas can beat Terrence Crawford, then that's on you. All I said is, nigga, if the fight happens, just make the bet with me.
I will. I damn sure will.
I'm not about to go back and forth with you about your opinion.
Hey, I will.
That's
and Miss T know that. I stand on what I say.
But check the shit out that I said. That's facts too.
I stand on what I say. Damn day. You
can
find me and we could bet.
What you
Since
say
you want to bring up
this?
the amateurs, read that shit.
What you say to this?
I don't give a damn about the amateurs. I know mentally.
Oh, now you don't give a damn about the amateurs. You see how you move the goalpost? You see this shit?
I don't care about the amateurs, but I know when somebody whoop your ass, that shit stay with you mentally. I know that.
Now he don't care about the amateurs.
Ain't no moving no goalpost. I just told you, if somebody whoop your ass, that shit sit with you mentally.
You just said you didn't care about it.
You
didn't care about it, ATL. Why did you bring it up?
I don't care about the amateurs. I'm telling you from my point of view of why I said what I said. Of why I said what I said.
Thank you, Miss. Exactly.
Somebody whoop your ass, that shit stay with you mentally.
I ain't talking about the whooping your ass point. I ain't talking about that. Why did you bring it up?
I think that Spence.
Why did you bring it up?
If you moved to 154,
that's all I'm asking.
All I'm gonna say is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're gonna make a point, make sure that you keep the same energy across the board. I would give him a chance to get redemption because I beat him in 2007 amateurs in the Golden Gloves Championship, and that probably prevented him from going to the Olympics. So remember I told y'all before when I kept saying Earl was an Olympian. Earl was an Olympian, and I was like, where he was sitting at, what seating arrangements was he at? Because just saying he an Olympian won't doing nothing for me back then, and I didn't even know the Olympic records. So Earl got beat in the Olympics, so he can be beat.
Exactly.
Omar Figueroa of all people.
I don't know nothing about the Figueroa shit.
I just showed you,
bro. That's what the fuck we talking about.
See,
Did you not read it?
They don't let you throw low blows in the Olympics, Miss T.
Oh my god.
The nutcracker.
ATL, I fucks with you, bro, but you biased as a motherfucker. And it's cool.
I ain't biased, man. I'm the less biased motherfucker out here, bro.
It's a lot
y'all just don't hear what I'm saying. Y'all so much on goddamn Bud Nuts. Y'all ain't trying to understand what I'm talking about.
How am I on Terrence
Crawford? I just explained to you. I said just like I made my point about Ugas fighting Terrence Crawford in the amateurs. Yeah, the goddamn Earl Spence movie. You over talking me.
Bro, I said I'm not gonna argue with your opinion.
If fucking Spence moved to 154, he needs to fight Castaño, who whooped his ass, or whoever else whooped his ass. Period.
Well, Omar
you said you'd be scared.
Omar Figueroa. I didn't even say shit about Castaño.
So what that say about,
even if Omar Figueroa whooped his ass in the amateurs, whoever the fucking
nigga, you didn't want to
fight
believe
his ass too.
You didn't want to believe me. That's the point.
Now you just heard me say that, right?
And you still didn't believe it.
You just heard me say that, right? Even if he did, I ain't even see the shit on the screen. I'm talking.
You know what you did?
I'm on a laptop.
Wait a minute. When I checked your ass, then you said, "Oh, I don't care about the amateurs."
I don't. But I'm saying he need to get his get back if that's what happened.
It's right there. But what I'm saying is, what they did in the amateurs ain't got nothing to do with the pros, and we gotta keep it a buck on that. Because if that's the case, then the motherfucker like Omar Figueroa,
that's false.
No fundamental boxing having ass beat the shit out of Earl Spence.
Let me tell you why that's false.
Believe how's that false?
Because everybody's mindset is different.
I'm stating facts.
Everybody's mindset is different. Missy. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm stating facts like you stated facts.
Everybody take losses different, Miss T.
But okay, but how's that different?
It's everybody mind state is different.
And you're
on a loss. You see people lose and you never see them again, right? Am I lying?
You got ESP. You got ESP.
Answer this for me, Miss T.
No.
It's some people that lose and you never see them again, right?
What that got to do with what we talking?
It's some people that lose and you never see them again, right?
Yeah, like Sean Porter retiring after turns.
Okay, but you got some people that take a loss and come back stronger.
Okay,
and do what they got to do, right?
Who took a loss? Yeah, people do that too. So answer my question: if Omar small ass beat the shit out of Earl Spence big ass, then what does that mean in the pro?
That means Earl Spence got to get his get back.
That's it. Do that mean that Earl Spence ain't shit?
No, that don't mean he ain't shit. That mean he got beat and he got to get his get back.
That how y'all? Do that mean that Omar
just like Terrence Crawford got his ass beat? He need to get his get back. Does that mean
that Omar could beat Earl Spence right now?
I don't know. I gotta see.
How you don't know? You know
because
you know
it's the pros, just like you said.
ATL, come on now.
It's the pros, just like you said. I said it's a mental thing. You didn't hear that? I said it's a mental thing.
Hey,
it's a mental thing. Whether he gonna come back and whoop Figueroa ass or Castaño ass. It's a mental thing. Everybody mental ain't the same.
But ATL,
everybody
we are not in their brains, so we can't say what they think. But you just gave an example that Ugas beat Crawford, so he can beat Crawford in the pro.
That's my opinion. And I will bet on it with anybody. And you know this. I'm not saying I'm right. This is my opinion.
My opinion that Omar get off the booze, or maybe they both should show up drunk. My opinion that Omar would he will floss Earl Spence ass.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
Okay, I'm just making sure you keep the same.
But I bet you Spencer fight him. And he won't fight no fucking tomato can.
I bet you Earl will fight him.
Ben sneezing.
I bet you Bud will fight Ugas.
Winch.
How y'all know?
Will Earl fight Omar?
Earl scared of Omar.
I want to see Earl fight whoever. Win, lose, or draw. I don't give a fuck. That's what I don't understand about me. I don't care if Earl lose to Crawford or whatever. I'm still rocking with Earl. Which I don't understand about that.
Sent Omar and Earl to
with a loss. If Crawford beats Spence, I'm not gonna ride Crawford because he beats Spence. I'm still around with Spence. Period.
Omar gonna floss Earl.
Can't none of y'all say that shit.
Yeah, we can't say that. I'm showing ATL.
Every time I speak real fast, the channel get quiet because y'all can't. My mind different. My mind frame is different. If Spence lose to Crawford, I don't give a fuck. I'm still rocking with Spence. That's what y'all don't understand.
We do understand.
Period. That's how simple shit is.
I feel the same way.
Ain't no goalpost moving none of that shit.
I feel the same way, but you guys offer a facts that ain't facts. And I see the Wright brothers that got quiet. Won't y'all speak up? What you saying, Big Fish? Where Q go? What Q? Because y'all see that bringing up amateurs ain't shit and pros. We can say the same thing. I'm just saying keep the same energy across the board. If Ugas beat Crawford and Crawford can't beat Ugas, okay, cool.
That's my opinion.
In the amateurs. Well, Omar beat Earl, so Earl can't beat Omar, period.
Okay, that's your opinion. But I bet on it. With anybody. Okay. You know that.
I would love to take that bet. I hope they fight. I bet you $500. I bet you know
what bet y'all talking about.
That's nothing.
Ugas versus Crawford.
I would love
I ain't gonna lie. I would have to see him fight another fight first. I would not want to bet no money on that one.
Oh, Q, you not gonna bet? You not gonna bet Ugas? Where the fuck?
Say, man, look.
Where you at?
He's already been broken already.
ATL.
He already been broken already.
Who broken? I ain't never lost a bet on this channel. Never.
No. I'm talking about Ugas is already broken right now. I wouldn't want to make that bet just because.
No, he ain't.
Thriller, didn't they just say that something about your fight?
Ugas, when he had the belt, he had already lost 2 fights. How he broken?
No, I'm talking about he broken as far as that ass whooping that he just received. Man, that man fucked that man up in that last goddamn fight. I got to see another fight first before I got to see him in the ring against somebody before I wouldn't. If that was his next fight, I would not do it. I wouldn't even advise it.
Y'all don't think that Earl Smith's broken?
And look, Ugas is not broken because he was fucking mad that they stopped the fucking fight. He ain't broken. He was mad as fuck they stopped the fight.
So Earl didn't break his eye. Hold on. So Earl didn't break his eye.
Oh damn.
He did, but he wanted to keep fighting. So that means he ain't broken.
And it's real.
That wasn't my question.
And it's real.
Did the man break his eye? Yes or no?
Yes, he did.
Okay, then. So he's a broken fighter.
No, he's not broken. He got broken.
Yeah,
but he could come back.
That's what we saying, bro.
He could come back.
That man broke that man article bones. Broke his ribs.
Beat the shit out of him.
Crawford sent him
that man beat the fuck. That man took too much punishment.
And another reason I see what I'm saying because I don't see Crawford doing Ugas like Spence did him.
Already. Yeah, because Crawford's gonna actually knock him out. You're right, because Crawford's gonna actually knock him out. He ain't gonna be up when the fight over.
Yeah, y'all see this
for now. That's what Ugas gonna look. He gonna
Earl beats you the fuck
y'all
up.
See this face?
And how you looking just like that?
People out.
Y'all see his face?
That's how Spence how you looking. That's how Crawford gonna look. Like
I'm asking this question to anybody. What was broken in his face?
Everything.
No, I just seen a recent interview where he said was broken. He had
everything.
A fractured. He said he had a fractured nose.
Man, that nigga had a fractured face.
I mean, it looked bad, but he said he had a fracture.
You mean look bad? We seen Martin, right? When Tommy Hearn knocked his ass out.
Yeah, but I mean, who we gonna go by, Lubin or us? Lubin put out his own mouth that he had a fractured nose, but look at his face.
Man, he lied. He had more than that.
So I mean, but Lubin ready to come back.
That's cool. That's cool. He took his sweet beating. That's what I was just saying. He took his beating. He coming back.
But I didn't know that unless he said
because his mental
he showed it.
It's different.
But I can't get in his head to say it. I only know because he's saying.
Glad you made that.
I can't say that. But just like you can't get in Bud's head and say nothing, you can only go by what he's doing.
No, I'll only go when he step his ass in that goddamn ring. And if he ever fight Ugas, you make sure you find me. I want them bets.
Oh yeah, Bud gonna floss him.
Win, lose, or draw, nigga. I'm here. Don't
Bud
run.
Ain't got no quit in him.
Don't dick ride none of that shit. If they ever fight, Come find me.
Yeah.
Send me a message on my channel if they fight. I'm betting you. Whoever.
Did Ugas quit? Did Ugas quit?
No,
within the Earl fight.
He didn't quit.
IQ.
No, I'm gonna say he didn't quit, but he got stopped because he couldn't see. He closed his shit. The referee.
He didn't quit.
He didn't quit. The referee and the doctors said he took too much punishment. Man, that they should have threw the towel in.
He was mad they stopped it. You got to remember that part of it. If you don't remember nothing else, remember how mad he was when they stopped the shit.
When you stop fighting.
So let me ask you a question. So you don't think Bud could beat Ugas? Why you don't think he could beat Ugas?
I don't think he can beat Ugas because mentally, when he had that belt, Crawford didn't offer to fight that man.
ATL, come on now.
That's so.
I need you to put your logic.
When Errol had the belt, he didn't offer Omar Figueroa, so now he can't beat Omar Figueroa.
Oh my God!
That's good.
Like, this is Figueroa, bro. This is crazy.
Who the fuck is Figueroa ranked at? Tell me that.
Don't matter.
Exactly. Nowhere. He's ranked nowhere. As a pro, he probably ain't ranked no goddamn.
Hold on, y'all. Go back to that question. You make a factual statement. I'm guessing ATL. Saying that Ugas, what did you just say? Like, repeat that shit. when Q said, why you think he can't beat
mentally?
him?
He said mentally. He didn't say nothing about skill. All mental.
I said mentally.
Yeah, exactly.
But you that's an opinion because
exactly.
But you also said something about he didn't fight the fight with Ugas.
I don't know how.
Yeah, who didn't fight the fight with Ugas?
Yeah, he said.
You don't think Bud is standing in the pocket with Ugas?
Bud didn't make the fight.
Hell no.
He said Bud.
You don't think Bud is standing in the pocket with Ugas?
Nope.
Okay.
He said Bud didn't make the fight. Now at the time, Bud was fighting Sean Porter, and here goes Sneaky Spence asking for training wheels, going behind everybody's back and pulling.
Going behind their back. What you mean going behind their back?
I'm about to tell you what I mean.
Spence. Fucking Crawford fought everybody who Spence done fought. So who going behind who back?
You want me to answer?
Huh?
I'm about to tell you. You want me to answer?
I'm just saying.
You want me to answer?
Spence fought everybody Crawford fought everybody who Spence fought, and just because he did something better than what Spence did years ago, y'all goddamn look up to him for that. Like, come on, man.
Are you on another subject? I'm
not.
Can I talk? I was talking about Ugas being preoccupied at the time and Spence going behind everybody back and asking for training wheels. Mr. I don't take tune-up.
So Crawford ain't go behind Spence back and fight Polynesian.
I wasn't finished. But he went behind everybody back and got Ugas out of jail, got to get out of jail free card by giving his opponent step aside money. That's why Stanionis feel like he has a legitimate claim to Earl Spence. Go on and step aside, Stanionis, while I go ahead and fight Ugas.
Did he take the money or not, Miss C?
But that's not.
Did he have to accept or not?
That's not the point.
Did he have to accept or not?
That's not the point.
Did he accept the step aside money or not, Miss C?
You are moving the goal.
No, I'm not. Did he accept this step aside money or not, Miss C? It was his position to goddamn fight Spence, and he took the step aside money, right?
I finish.
I'm just saying, it's fact. These is facts.
Can you let a person finish so I can get my facts out? I'm getting my facts out.
Y'all trying to move the goalpost. He didn't have to take no step aside money.
Whenever you want me to get my facts out, I'll be glad to say it.
What type of shit is that, Miss C?
I'm trying to tell you if you let a person talk.
I know I'm going for a bag, but somebody come in and be like, hey, I want that bag. Can y'all pay you to step aside?
Y'all see this?
No, I want the bag, nigga.
He don't want it to be mentioned.
No, because y'all trying to make false narratives, bro.
It's nothing false about Earl Spence going behind everybody back,
bro,
and pulling
nigga
out,
ain't have to step
and pulling Stanionis and like canceling the fight between Stanionis and Ugas. He pulled them out of there. He paid Stanionis step aside, but somehow or another,
did he have to take that money, Miss C?
I'm about to finish. Can I finish first? Can I finish first, nigga?
Did he have to take the?
Can I finish first? You gonna let
you
me
moving
finish?
the goalpost now.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. You gonna let me finish?
I'm just saying. You
let
saying
me finish. I have to keep
Did
starting.
he have to accept step?
When Errol Spence went behind everybody back and paid standing on his step aside, and then he went and got the fight with Ugas. Some kind of way that's Bud's fault. Bud at the time was fighting Sean Porter. Remember that fight went down November 21st. And then Bud, he could be free. But while they was waiting on leading up to that fight with Sean Porter and having that fight, Spence was behind the scenes orchestrating that Ugas fight. So how can Bud be at fault for not trying to get the Ugas fight when Ugas was obligated to be in the box off, and Spence and them went behind the scenes and paid off everybody and did the payola?
Miss
Now
T,
you can say something. Nope. I had to take you out because you don't let nobody talk.
It don't matter.
So now go ahead.
But did whoever took the step aside money, did they have to take the shit?
Standing honest didn't have to.
Okay. So whose fault is that?
What does that mean?
Whose fault is that?
That does nothing for her argument or your argument.
Whose fault is that they didn't fight?
It's your fault. It's your fault.
How is Standing Honest gonna fight somebody if he took step aside money and he ain't have to?
Dude, who is you talking about? Ugas. We're not talking about Standing Honest.
That was you. We were just on.
No.
I just
you go.
Explain it to him, Tay. I can't.
I mean, so your point is that I'm going to go over your point, Antio. So your point is that Bud could have had time to fight Ugas, but he didn't. Our argument is that even before Bud was scheduled to fight Sean Porter, they already had that in works. Because remember, it was in June when Ugas beat Pacquiao. And soon after that fight,
it was August.
July.
It was August.
It was okay. It was before. I knew it was before. After that fight, they already behind the scenes had already scheduled that fight between him and Ugas. Then Ugas got 2 mandatories put on him. So even before, so the timeline is Crawford is already scheduled to fight Sean Porter, and Errol Spence went behind everyone's back and is already scheduled to fight Ugas. So how was Crawford? We're not talking about Standing Honest.
I thought we were talking about step aside money.
No,
we're talking about going behind people's back.
I don't know how you're not keeping up.
No. Y'all trying to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy now.
No.
You were talking about fucking how Earl fought this person and paying Standing Honest to step aside. That's what I was talking about.
He said that Errol Spence was going behind people's backs and making fights, which he was doing.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about with this Yuga shit. I'm talking about who accepted step aside money. Did Standing Honest have to? That's who we was on.
No, we wasn't.
That's why the rest of the panel left because they knew.
ATL, I love you, bro. But
we talking about Standing Honest accepting step aside money. So Errol Spence can do his whatever the fuck he did.
We was not.
But Standing Honest didn't have, because I asked you the question like 3 or 4 times, and you said, "Let me talk." Let me talk.
Because you
wouldn't
let me talk. But have you been drinking tonight? Because you off.
I always drink when I'm on the show, so that ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with it.
I don't know.
You were just sitting here talking about how Standing Honest took the step aside money, but he didn't have to.
They already. We're not okay.
Yeah, he ain't gonna let
nobody. He didn't have to, bro.
He ain't gonna let nobody talk, but
I hear what y'all saying, but no, y'all ain't gonna do me like that, bro. Y'all ain't gonna treat me like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You don't, apparently, in this situation.
Look at the rest of your panel, though. They gone. Because they couldn't even
they got other stuff. ATL.
They couldn't even answer the question. They didn't even say bye.
ATL, I don't know what got into you tonight.
Straight up.
I don't really know.
Some of them guys most of those people were Errol Spence fans.
I am an Errol Spence fan, and I love Terrence Crawford too. I'm not on nobody side. I don't got no pom-pom.
What I'm trying to say to
but what y'all not gonna do is make me seem like I'm fucking crazy. Standing Honest didn't have to accept no step aside money. He could have
seeming like you
crazy. Wouldn't have no fucking. We wouldn't be talking about this.
Seeming like you crazy because you're not following the conversation.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. That's what it is.
We was responding to a statement.
No, y'all wasn't.
You made.
I wasn't.
You said,
"Oh my God!"
You said, "Bud."
Y'all tripping, bro. You're not gonna jump.
He said Bud could have fought Ugas, and we're saying no, he couldn't have, because like they already
ATL, where you at? Come back.
And Bud was already scheduled to fight.
That's what he said, y'all. He gonna have to replay the thing to see what he said. We was responding to a statement that he said. Now him and E Thriller had exchanged some questions or whatever, but I think I was going at Q, and I mean we was all it's like I said, it's all love, but he wasn't. I don't think I think ATL got mixed up as to what we was responding to. He heard me say standing onus, and he just harped in on that. Standing onus is a small part of the explanation.
Thank you.
What he made a declarative statement about why Bud didn't go after Ugas.
Mm-hmm.
Bud couldn't go after Ugas.
Thank you. That's her
Bud
point.
had a fight with Sean Porter in the mix, and then he had the fight. And Bud was not going to go fight Ugas or try to make a deal with Ugas when Ugas was in a box off. That was decided by the WBA. Bud has no power or influence in the WBA. Mm-hmm. So what was he going to do? After he fights Sean Porter, of course he still want Spence. So but Earl Spence, who y'all claim want Bud, instead of saying, all right, now that you done fought Sean, let's get it on and write this contract up, he didn't do that. He said, I know, I'd rather fight Ugas. So let me go jump in WBA's business and pay Standing Jonas, who is the heir apparent, meaning he is next in line to fight Ugas for the belt. Let me jump in front of Standing Jonas. But in order to jump in front of Standing Jonas, you got to pay that man. So PBC paid him. Now, Ugas is free to get out of that box off and go fight Earl Spence. And if y'all remember, when Ugas beat Pacquiao the August before that, Ugas was crying to everybody but Santa Claus because the WBA put him in a box off. Y'all remember that shit?
Yeah,
I mean, people forgot about that.
Yeah, we remember it, man. I remember it. I mean, people claim that Errol Spence wants Crawford so bad, but it seems like at every point in time when he could fight Terence Crawford, he always goes a different route. You know, when they met up, he said, I'm not going to fight you right now. I'm going to go the easy route. Even the situation right now, he had the opportunity. Instead of trying to take Ugas from the WBA, he could have fought Crawford.
Yeah, so this is what I mean, Q. When y'all make statements that don't make sense, you make us have to bring up other shit. Now, E Thriller, all in fairness, he asked ATL a question. I think they hash out the other questions that they asked of each other. But he asked ATL, and E Thriller is right. I've seen him ask this question on his panel. Nobody ever answers. If y'all always talk about all the people something about the resume and the opponents. What opponent of Earl Spence can beat Crawford? And the realistic answer is none. Now, if your opinion tells you Ugas or tells you whoever, you know what I'm saying? That's your opinion.
And
but realistically, none.
And I don't think resumes matter in terms of fights like this, man. Like, only time you should bring up resumes is if people haven't fought all certain type of styles before, and those guys have basically fought every type of style there is to fight. And like mostly that's for like prospects who aren't sure of how they react in such situations, or if you're grading how good a fighter is like all time compared to others. I mean, look at Bivol. He didn't have a better resume than Canelo, and he washed him. So I don't get why fans love bringing up and even Teofimo when he fought Lomachenko.
He
didn't have a better resume than Teofimo. He beat him. So I don't know why fans like to bring up that talks when talking about
Cambosos don't have a better resume than Teo or whatever.
No.
I don't get into that either, Tay. I'm with you.
Doesn't matter.
I respect the fighter who can get in the ring. He's doing more than I can do. That's number one. And this show wasn't really about Earl Spence. I was reiterating the thing about Boots. If y'all didn't throw, when I say y'all, Spence fans, and I think somebody said we always call them Earl sexuals. I rarely say it, but every now and then I've said it. But Spence fans is the one to throw boots in front of Bud. And then they make conclusion like Bud ducking him. And then y'all say if he can fight somebody that's worthy. But you don't listen to English when we break down the fact that Bud is going through the list. He cannot fight people that don't want to fight him. We have proven that Danny Garcia walked away from an offer, went in Fort Granados for less than the offer that Bob Arum gave him. You can't say that if you would PBC, you can't fight top rank. It happens all the time. Just not with Earl and Bud for whatever reason. You can't say that Bud is avoiding Boots or walking away from Boots when Boots, I clearly show, offered his choice. He chose Earl. All of us know that. So how you turn around and bring the blame back to Bud? And then ATL, I wish you come back, but you know, won't nobody like trying to make it seem like you crazy. I was like, you off center tonight because you didn't answer that question. Then you offered the fact that in the amateurs, but then when somebody turn around, and I've done this to other people too, don't bring up the amateurs. It has nothing to do with the pros. Even if Bud had beat Ugas in the amateurs, I will never come and say, you know, Bud beat him in the amateurs. The only reason why people have to dig into the amateur records is because some of y'all like to bring up the amateurs as a point to be proven. Oh, Ugas beat Bud in the amateurs. Well, Omar Figueroa beat Earl and stopped his Olympic career. What does any of that mean for the pros? Not a goddamn thing. Either way. That's how I look at it. But that's a proving ground for y'all. And I'm like, no, you see what I'm saying? Tay, like this is crazy.
It is crazy.
And ATL, you know I love you, bro. And I know he mad as a motherfucker, but you was off center tonight. I don't know how you got caught up in the sand. I was like, where you lost Tay? It's just
I didn't get why he kept bringing that up. I was like, what is he talking? I don't think he understood what we were talking about, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and then when he, like he Thriller said, who can be Bud out of Spence people that he fought? Or when y'all say Bud fight his leftovers, don't make a point that it can't be countered. That's what y'all need to do. Stop doing. Stop making points when y'all know the counter is coming.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy to me. Who can be him? Well, who can be him? Everything y'all say, we're just gonna repeat it. Sound off, echo flex. That's just how it's gonna be. Until one day everybody get tired of making these crazy ass points.
I wanted to talk about Tank, man. I wanted to talk about how Tank giving Ryan Garcia a rehydration clause, and that proves to me. And first off, his fans are hypocritical, and that proves to me that he'll never fight Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson.
Oh, that's what they did. They gave Ryan a rehydration.
He only get 10 pounds bigger than 136.
Yeah. Oh,
that sounds ridiculous. I mean, if Canelo did that, people would all be up in arms. But now it's okay because Tank does it. Like I wanted to cook on that, but
well, go ahead. Like that was my. I only brought up the Boost Ennis thing in the beginning. I like Q's answer. I brought it up because I had a back and forth with a couple of people. So I took the time in the show to go back and reiterate some things so that I'm clear. Okay. But that's what I wanted y'all to answer, you know, before we got off of talking about Bud and all this stuff, like all this counter and everything. Like it's crazy. But Davis and Garcia, what do you think PBC and Golden Boy should do to ensure the success of this fight?
I think have a pretty good undercard, lower the price.
Yep. That's what I said.
I think doing multiple press conferences can be good. I mean, you can use social media fine, but like let's multiple press conferences. Maybe get like viral moments. Maybe you tell Tank push Ryan or something to happen. I don't know. Get social media, but I mean, I think lowering the price, I think, is a big thing.
Let's see. This is what I had said. Okay, if Earl is not gonna fight Boots, and you know he's ordered to fight Boots, because Earl and Keith Thurman is an order too. So if Earl don't fight Boots and the time is ticking down, he got time. Boots could do another fight. So I said, why not Boots and Rashidi Ellis? They over there at the same place, right? Or is Rashidi Ellis still with Golden Boy?
Nah, he's with Showtime now, but they're probably not going to set him up with him because he just lost his last fight.
But he should. This is just
I agree
work,
with
you. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but how I think Showtime runs business, I don't think they're going to have that fight happen.
If Showtime, if you listening, yo, man, this is my suggestion.
It's probably going to be Mexican versus Black on the whole card.
It should be Boots versus Rashidi Ellis. Build on that momentum from their last outing when they was going back and forth. Motherfuckers want to see that. If Boots feel like it's easy work, just a little busy work, why not go do it? Tatum dropped off. So I'll be like Boots and Rashidi Ellis. And you got Frank Martin over there, PBC. And you got Rowley. You got Colbert. And you got Russell. Frank Martin can fight Rowley, Colbert, or Russell. That's a seller too. Okay. Have it in New York at the Barclays or Madison Square Garden and charge $50 to $60. Do anybody agree or disagree with that little assessment of, or that suggestion of how PBC and Golden Boy should go forward as far as putting the Tank fight together? Because I think if you put it together like that, that shit gonna hit the roof in sales. And I already told you, as a person who personally protests PBC, I will buy that fight. I would absolutely buy that fight. So, you know, it's just, to me, what you guys, I was just wondering what you guys think. Would y'all feel that same way? If Davis and Garcia fight had, first of all, they got to have a great undercard. Can't have no trash undercard. And those matchups that I mentioned, build on the momentum. Boots and Rashidi has a momentum. Hell, Boots and Blair Cobbs. You cannot go wrong with these things. If anybody from Showtime listening, you cannot go wrong with these things, or PBC. We will be lock, stock, and barrel. I promise you I'll buy that fight. Don't charge more, because this is not a title fight. Nobody's winning the championship. I think Tank got Reggie belts. Nobody cares about those. You know, this is a title fight or not. And since it's not, then we're not trying to pay out through the roof. Y'all got to learn or go back to the drawing board of learning how to charge people. This is one of those areas where I say get out the Mayweather era. Mayweather, you could charge $80 to $100 for a fight. Everybody else, hell no. They don't come close to those type numbers. So charge the fight so that people can say they want to. Because I'm telling you, Tank got the ears and minds of the casuals. He got the eyes of the casuals. I can't tell you how many times people, like I said, they know I'm into boxing, so they'll ask me, what's that little yellow fella, you know, that light-skinned dude, little short dude that's from DC? They don't even look at boxing. They don't even like boxing like that. But they like when he fight, and they will tune in. Then you got Ryan's followers. He got 8 million. Haven't proven that his 8 million translated to boxing fans. He has not proven that. But I bet you they're a bunch of casuals. But if they like Ryan, they going to like Tank because Tank got the eyes of the casuals. And then they probably will pay to see Ryan fight Tank. Tank is a special star. But I'm not going to speak on pay-per-view because we don't know how accurate them numbers are for me to stand on the porch and just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully PBC and Golden Boy heard me. Thank y'all for coming through. We've been on 2.5 hours. A lot of people dropped off. I see Tatum dropped off. ATL dropped off. E-Thriller dropped off. Q dropped off. Big Fish dropped off. Good debate. All I tell everybody is to take the bias out, you know. Just look at shit for what it is. I gotta get a shout out to Q because I like his answer. He don't know enough information. He need Boost to come out and clarify. Telling me that Bozy fumbled over his words or he not good with talking like Derrick James or Floyd Sr. First of all, y'all got to put some respect on Floyd Sr. But if he not good enough talking and all that, that's not going to cut it. That doesn't mean he can't tell the truth or that he can't drop a nugget. So I have to go by the information that's in front of me, not what I hope and what I think. Second of all, I have to disagree with saying like we know something going to happen when we don't know. We cannot get in none of these fighters' minds to say what they would do or what they won't do. I would like to get to a point where we don't bring up what people did in the amateur and try to correlate that to the pros. Because I think we do ourselves a disservice because you can walk right into the thing we just had tonight with the Omar Figueroa. I didn't know. That's how much I don't know about their amateur life. I know all I need to know is, you know, were you an amateur, how often you fought, you know, because that'll tell me how long you've been a student of the game or the student of the craft. And that tells me a lot. That's all I care about. The amateurs is where you're supposed to work out your kinks and take your L's and this, that, and the other. So I don't hold professional fighters to what happened, good or bad, in the amateurs. Once you start your pro career after coming out the amateurs, it's a new slate. It's a start over. You get another chance. Now, I hold what you do as a pro. If you make declarative statements about any fighter, be prepared for people to hold that against you or hold you to it or counter. And don't move the goalposts. You can't have a declarative feeling or a statement. Like you can't say, I know he going to beat him because, you know, this, that, and the other. And then turn around, somebody offer you the same predicament. And you say, well, I don't know that one. You can't do the hominas. You can't do that. Keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying. ATL, I guess we'll see each other whenever we see each other. Hey, DJ, we about to get off. He said, Miss T, I got you. Give me a second. Oh, did you want to come on? I'll wait 1 second. If you had something to say. I'm imagining that you was listening. I was about to close out. Mike Jones is in the building and DJ. What's popping, y'all? He said, damn, we talking about another Al Haymon fight. What's up, Miss T? What's good with you, Mike Jones? You know, no, tonight was mostly dominated with me reiterating about the Bozy in his interview and explaining why I came to the conclusion that I came to, that at this point, Boost is a duck for Crawford. He ducked Crawford. I would have never felt like the need to say it if the narratives that was bullshit weren't out there. Y'all make niggas want to say some shit, but that's what it is. So, you know, if they would have never said, because nobody was tripping when Boost picked the IBF route to go. Nobody tripped. It was all to the good. Nobody called him a duck. But now when we know that you're a free agent and you motherfucking don't take a fight to be a champion, what's up, DJ? What you got on it?
What's going on, Miss T? What's going on? How you feeling? You know, we don't really get to talk no more. I be missing your show, man.
I know you to change up schedules.
Right. When you go live, that's like right at the start of my shift, and I ain't had a chance to relax yet. But I'll be listening sometime.
Yeah, you gotta have your act right on when you start work, y'all. All right, but you've been listening today, so you know what was we talking about?
I just saw your headline. What we talking about Bud and Boots again?
Well, I had to reiterate because I you know how I always tell people they can email me, ask me any question, or put a statement. So I was going back and forth in a positive way with somebody who wasn't too clear with what I was trying to say or was resistance to what I was saying. And so I always come back. I always come back the next day and double down or re-clarify or even say that I'm wrong. But my point was, I know you heard the Bozy interview. I have to go by what he said. I don't call Boots a duck because he chose the IBF route. I never did. I never called him a duck. But Bozy explaining that Boots is a free agent and that BLK offered him a fight and they turned it down. Talking about something. We gotta talk to Showtime, somebody who you are not in a legal contract with or don't have no business in the business. Like that ain't your business. If I got business with you, you can't tell me to go talk to your cousin. I don't give a fuck what your cousin got talking about. I'm in business with you. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you have an opportunity to get a belt, to legitimize your positioning to fight Errol Spence even more, because you already cornered Errol with the IBF. And if you get the belt off Terrence, since everybody say you can beat Terrence and Terrence scared of you or Terrence ducking you, they're going to take it.
Yeah, that ain't true at all. Yes. Basically, to my understanding, what happened, right? Boots is not with PBC or Al Heyman. He's with Showtime. And his promoter is Cameron Duncan. Now, where the confusion comes in is Terrence Crawford's team did reach out to Jerron Ennis about making a fight. Bozy admitted that much. And Jerron Ennis's team and his father said, all right, cool. But you got to holler at Steven Espinosa because they do have an exclusive deal with Showtime. What I've been saying since I heard this news is I'm going to keep the same energy that I had for Oscar De La Hoya last summer when he killed the Munguia and Charlo fight. That I'm gonna keep that same energy for Steven Espinosa, because what happened, by my understanding, what happened is they told BLK Prime, sure, we can make the fight. You're gonna pay for it, but we're gonna show the fight on Showtime. So at that point, you can't ask a network or a streaming service, whatever you want to call them. You can't ask them to do that. That's BS. You're not going to tell me I'm going to pay for the fight and then not allow me to show it on my network. Same thing that Oscar did last year. If we remember, last June, Charlo and Munguia had a fight set up, ready to go, had worked out terms. Both guys were ready to sign. And then Oscar comes in at the 9th hour and says, but we want to show it on the zone too. And Showtime told the guys, no, our guy's the champion. It's going to be on our network. We sent the offer. We're setting everything up. It's going to be on our network. So this is the same situation. I don't think at any point Jerron Ennis and Bozy Ennis turned down this fight because, as you know, I've spoken to you about this and I've been speaking to others about this. I've been wanting Jerron Ennis to get his opportunity for years now. I've thought the kid was ready, 2-3 years ago. But for Steven Espinoza to do that, and like I said, this is my understanding just by listening to different reports and putting everything together. It sounds like Steven Espinoza killed the fight because he wanted to put it on Showtime while at the same time trying to make BLK Prime pay for it. And that's just not the way this thing works.
And Terrence would be the A-side. Boost is not a champion. But I want to
correct They conceded all of that. They conceded all of that. You know what, Bud? You the A-side, BLK Prime, y'all the A-side. Y'all are going to pay for everything. But we're going to show it on Showtime. And that's not how that works.
Here's the thing, DJ. Bozy also said we are not contractually bonded with Showtime, meaning we have an agreement verbally, but we don't have no contract. We're not signed to Showtime. That's what I'm going by. So if you're not signed to Showtime and you're not signed to PBC and some entity that makes you a free agent and some other entity comes along and offer you a fight for the championship with Bud Crawford and you talk about other shit like go talk to Showtime, why do BLK need to talk to Showtime? You're not signed to them. That's what you want to happen. That ain't what got to happen. If you're not signed to them, Bud and BLK don't have no reason to have to go talk to Showtime. They're asking you, do you want the fight? So if you turning it down, because that's what Bozy pretty much said, his loyalty to Showtime. Now that's fine. You can feel like that, Bozy. But at that point, that's a duck. That's what I was saying, DJ. And I heard him say it out his mouth. I played it yesterday. So that's what I got you. You can go back and listen. And those are not nuggets that he dropped. When he chose the IBF route, no, he wasn't a duck. He chose what he wanted to choose. You have a right to do whatever it is you want.
Yeah, you don't duck Terrence Crawford to go to Errol Spence.
Right. But I still think Earl is less skillful than Terrence. But either way, I don't blame him because you can look at it and say, well, Earl got 3 belts. You know, you can say it that way. Or you can say, well, I want to get back in the fold with PBC. I don't know your reasons, but they yours. And they good. They cool with me. You're not a duck. But at this point, you're to find out, you let everybody think that you was signed to Showtime, and you never was. Y'all had a gentleman's agreement that Steven was living up to what his words said to them. They happy, as Bosa said. We happy. Y'all should see the money we make. We happy. Okay. I ain't gonna knock you if you happy. If you like it,
I mean, it could very well come down to that, Miss T. They might just be happy doing business with Showtime, but I do believe they have some type of paperwork together where they are with Showtime.
Bozy said it out his mouth. If he misspoke, then that ain't my fault. He said,
I think he misspoke, but I can't really speak on that. But to me, like I said, that's what I put together just by listening to different reports. That might not be what it is. Even on Blue Blood's channel, Blue said he put those two parties together. He put BLK Prime and Showtime together. They had an hour-long meeting, and from that meeting, we don't know what went on in the meeting. He wasn't in the meeting. But from that hour-long meeting they had, a fight didn't materialize. And that's all we know. But
we don't know nothing past what they say. I can only go by what they say. The man was clear in his words to what he said. Maybe, like, I call it a Freudian slip, DJ. That's all I call it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Your campaign or whatever he was trying to convey to let either he thought he was talking to the fans, but he really, to me, was talking to Steven Espinoza. Let me show you how loyal my guy is. My son is. We loyal. We won't even step outside of Showtime because they've been good to us. And to prove how loyal we are, we was never signed. There's no contract with me and Showtime. That's Bozy on the mic. After that, dog, you expose your hand. You expose your hand. If Terrence can be called a duck for the least of things, come on, what's that? And I like Boots, but at that point, we're gonna call it a spade. We got to call a spade. You had an opportunity several times, and then all of a sudden, he gets thrown from the WBO ranking.
Now, once you become a champion, they pull you out of the other ranking system.
I said that too, but they didn't do it to just now.
Yeah, they didn't pull him out until like early February, I want to say.
I don't know what date they did it, but let me say this: he had several title eliminators, which I don't understand why. I thought the title eliminator was just that. Once the winner comes, that's the guy. But Boots have had several.
Oh no, you can have up to, I think you can have up to 2 title eliminators. Then they'll throw the interim title in because his last 2 fights. Well, not his last 2. I know the one against Castillo Clayton was an eliminator, and I think the one against Delorme wasn't an eliminator. But I do believe the one against Lipinets was an eliminator too.
I thought before he came into this fight with Karen this year that he was the interim, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Nah, he was just the number 1 contender.
Okay. And at that point, you could petition. Like I said, and Boots petitioned last October, and Virgil petitioned last September. You know who they petitioned? They gunning for Earl. They call Earl the best. I don't know. It's like Mikey Garcia. I see something. And then when
but the IBF wasn't next anyway. It was supposed to be the WBA if Undisputed didn't happen. It was supposed to be the WBA. Because you remember they paid Stanionis to step aside, and then the sanctioning bodies, the 3 sanctioning bodies that Errol holds belts for, they all got together and decided, well, no, the WBC is going to be next, and that's how Keith Thurman came into the picture.
Which is fucked up because the IBF ain't had a Mando in 4 or 5 years. So I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, we beat this. Sorry, we beat.
No, you're okay. You're okay. Yeah, I know it's allergy season. I'm feeling it too.
Jesus. But before I get out of here, because we've been on here 3 hours now. Before I get out of here, can you give me a breakdown of what you think the Tank Davis fight, Tank Garcia fight, how PBC and Golden Boy put this thing together so to ensure it's a success? Because people do still feel like I can't bet on Tank or Ryan because they liable to pull out, anything liable to happen. You know what I'm saying? You got to take lead. Y'all got to keep in mind, wherever they pick this fight to be, people going to have to take leave from their jobs. They're going to have to pay for plane tickets. They're going to have to pay for room and board.
Right.
That's a lot of money to everybody else if it ain't a lot of money to Tank and Ryan. And knowing how they could, like Tank could get into something that take him out the fight. Ryan known for pulling out shit. But what I will say,
Ryan known for pulling out of fights. Tank don't pull out of fights. I hadn't heard him miss one fight because of now I could be wrong. I hadn't done my research on that, but as long as I've been following him, I can't remember him actually pulling out of a fight.
No,
now does he do knucklehead shit and get in trouble? Sure.
That's what I'm saying. We can't call it. So if your money go up in smoke, you the one that's gonna be mad. We gonna get tired of that. Have
you seen these damn tickets? Because I was planning on going to that fight, but and Miss T and for everybody out there who's listening, have y'all seen these damn tickets? Hell no.
Oh, okay.
They started out this morning when I looked at them. They were $950.
Nah, nigga, you can't at
starting at 950. Now later on in the day, they dropped to 800. Mm-hmm. They dropped to 800.
See, I'm gonna tell you. That's why I say, what's your suggestion? See, what I said was, number one, it's a whole lot of number ones. Don't overprice this fight. This ain't no title fight. This ain't for all the marbles. $50, $60 is fair. Don't put on no trash undercard. Good, go off the momentum. You got people, and I even try to stick with people I know that it's plausible to get the fight. Like, I'm not trying to mix interagency. I was like, co-main event, Rashidi Ellis, Boost Ennis. Because Boost is waiting on Earl, but they saying that Thurman and Earl's supposed to get it on May 29th. We don't know. But while you waiting,
we don't know at this point.
While you waiting, because Boost, you ain't getting that fight. Either he gonna fight Thurman, hopefully he fight Crawford. But you ain't getting that fight no time soon. So go ahead and fight Rashidi Ellis. Build off that momentum of that shit talking that they had in their last outing. Then you got Frank Martin. Go on to put him in there with Rowley, Colbert, or Mr. Gary Russell. And then throw a female card in the beginning. Boom. Get people interested. How that bitch in New York and Madison Square Garden.
I could see Frank Martin being on that card, but Rowley about to get a title shot.
Yeah. Rowley's
about to get a title shot, and Colbert's about to fight El Rayo on David Benavidez and Plant undercard.
Damn. So that leaves who else I said? Mr. Gary Russell. Bring him out of retirement. Come on. Bring him out.
Yeah, I mean, you can get Mr. Gary Russell a fight. You can get him a fight.
Yeah.
But I think he's more on the coaching side now.
Well, he haven't said he's gonna retire.
He ain't never officially retired. Yeah. But I believe that he'll just stick to coaching at this point in his career, especially with the untimely passing of their father. Somebody's got to take on that role. So it'll probably be Mr. Gary Russell.
Yeah,
like I said, I don't know that to be true, but that could be it.
Last time I seen the clip, he was talking about how he gonna come back. So I don't know, like you said, we don't know what can happen, but offered it to him. That will. If 3 of the fights is like that, man, come on, it'll be a good fight. You can do it at the Barclays, or you can do it at Madison Square Garden. That's a neutral thing. DC, contrary to what people think, is not that close to New York. You got to really think about driving up that bitch. And then, that's neutral. Don't have it in because like Ryan by himself, Ryan can't get. I don't think he can come over East Coast and be that damn successful. I think Ryan more so West Coast. But Tank has shown that he can sell out. And I ain't talking about pay-per-view, y'all. But he can sell out in any venue on East Coast.
Yeah, he'll sell out any venue he goes to.
Anything.
But I don't know, Miss T. $800 tickets. I mean, shit.
Yeah, and then the fact that y'all both are unreliable, because Tank getting his sentencing in May. So he's
gonna be sentenced. He's gonna be sentenced a couple weeks after the fight.
After the fight. Yeah, so
and that's why I'm waiting on these guys, because I think Tank is gonna sleep Ryan Garcia around round 8 or 9. Because we all know Tank starts slow, but once he gets Ryan Garcia's rhythm, he gets his timing, and he's felt his power within the first 5 rounds. Because we know Tank will slow walk through the first 4 or 5 rounds, right? Just trying to get your rhythm, trying to get your timing, and trying to get his distance. Once he gets all that down, I think it's just a matter of time, because you'll see him pick it up. Once he's gotten all his reads, and I say this all the time, it's a beautiful thing to watch Gervonta Davis switch gears.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Once he decides he's tired of fucking around with you, like, it's beautiful, Miss T. I like to watch. You can see it happen. That's the beautiful thing. You know how some people gradually build up, like Jared Hurd used to gradually, just walk people down, right? He can't do it anymore. That kid should retire, by the way. Yeah, I call him a kid, even though he's only 2 years younger than me.
He done.
He needs to retire. It's just, you got to realize at some point you ain't got your fastball no more, man.
But his style is not conducive
It was never conducive to a long career. Same thing with the Figueroa brothers, who I hate watching fight.
Exactly.
I absolutely, it makes my stomach hurt watching them fight because I think they fight like. Well, David Benavidez is all gas, no brakes. I don't think he necessarily take. He don't take a lot of punishment, but he's not necessarily blocking shots either.
But he good because he young. That style ain't
you can do that while you're young.
Some of them people's styles ain't gonna do good when they get older. Once they,
you're not gonna get 40 or 50 fights. You're not gonna get 40 or 50 fights out of them. You might as well enjoy it while they're here.
But like you said with Tank, I always say the nigga is the best at setting traps.
Right.
Woo.
Absolutely.
That's the thing and he be doing it. He be doing it. He be testing it. Like you said, you seeing his mind work. And when he be like, gotcha. That nigga like, ooh.
It's almost like it's almost like I don't know if you've seen Creed 3 yet. So
nah, I ain't seen it.
Okay. Well, there's a point in there where he gets a read on the guy. He says, checkmate. And it's almost like that's what Gervonta Davis does when he decides, all right, I got your rhythm. I know where your distance is. I felt your power. I'm not impressed. Checkmate.
Yeah. That's exactly.
You saw him do it to Leo Santa Cruz. You saw him do it to Mario Barrios. You saw him do it to Rolly. Well, he just timed Rolly. But you saw him do it. Most recently, you saw him do it to Hector Luis Garcia.
Yeah, they walk right into his trap. But, it's the thing, like, I say this. It ain't many fighters I can say this about, and I don't even say this about Bud. Tank, it ain't no I'm up 4 rounds with Tank or 5 rounds with Tank. It's like you say, when he decided to get you the fuck out there, you gone.
Yeah, now, only fighter he couldn't do that to was Pitbull Cruz. And I think that's because of the first time in his career he was fighting a guy who was shorter than him. Yes. So them uppercuts and them hooks that he was used to throwing, he's used to throwing them at a certain angle. He really couldn't get up under Pitbull Cruz like that. And notice the guys that have no neck are the hardest ones to knock out.
Mm-hmm. And you know what too? I think in this era, right now in this era, something has been missed collectively across all boxers spectrum is the tall fighter has lost their mojo as fight, because it used to be if you're tall, it's a certain way you can fight. It was hard to beat them tall fighters. Now it's the era of the short fighters. Because I be like, when I see a fighter that's short, I be like, oh, you gonna get some good rounds in, or you probably gonna beat. And you right about the what you call him. I would say that what's his name? The one that Pitbull Cruz. The best thing that he does, he can tuck his chin like nobody business.
Right. It's hard to dig up under there and get that chin, ain't it?
You know what I'm saying? And that's
the way he holds his gloves right up under his eyelids, and it's hard to get up under his chin.
Yeah. And he can take a punch. Tank could take a punch, but Pitbull could give one. I've been telling y'all that shit for a minute now.
Yeah, you one of the only ones who actually told us, hey, look, this shit ain't gonna be sweet as sweet potato as y'all think it is.
Yeah, and look, and then guess who don't ever mention his name? But I just saw Pitbull call this nigga out 3 times.
Who that?
Devin Haney.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you brought him up. Now, it's been a growing sentiment out here that, Tank Davis is ducking Devin Haney, and I can understand why people would say that. But this is what one of the things is really one of my pet peeves, Ms. T. I don't like when guys start calling for other fights while they have a fight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because we learned nothing. And what I tell people when they start trying to book the Devin Haney and Tank fight, all duck Tank duck Devin Haney. This, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. Well, did we learn nothing from Teofimo Lopez a couple years ago? Teofimo Lopez was talking about, like, he had George Kambosos on the books, right? Mm-hmm. All you heard every time Teo had a microphone in his face,
Devin Haney.
People were asking him about Devin Haney. people were asking him about they were asking him about Devin Haney. Him and his dad was talking about, yeah, we undisputed. After we knock out Kambosos, we going to get Josh Taylor. Focus on your fight before you not make it to your fight.
True, but in Tank defense.
Yeah, Tank did that shit too. That's what I'm saying.
I would say this though, DJ. When he had the fight, we knew the fight with Garcia was happening. What we didn't know is this fight with Garcia, Ryan Garcia. That was the elephant in the room. Yeah, they always talk, and Ryan does it too. Every time he had a fight come up, he bring up Tank. And I was like, that's just to generate interest in you coming to and watch the fight they currently in. That's a tactic. If it works, it just works. But I didn't like that shit neither. But
yeah, I understand that's the business. I understand guys are trying to, plant seeds for future fights. I get it. But I'm just not a fan of, look, man, you got this dude, you already got a fight signed. Why are we talking about the next fight already? Let's take care of this one. And then I'll say this. If Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis do not fight each other at the end of the year, some in the milk ain't clean at that point. Because I feel like we all knew that Devin had those 2 fights with Kambosos, and then somewhere along the line, Bob Arum was gonna stick Lomachenko in there. Yeah. Devin Haney's been calling for that fight, just like he's been calling for Tank. Just like Tank said, hey, you win your next fight, I'm fighting you. Like, they keep talking about each other when they already have fights lined up. And I'm not a fan of that personally. I get it's the business, I get that's how it works, but just like I said, personally, I'm not a fan of it. Take care of your fight first, and then once y'all both have clear schedules, we should have a fight materialize between these two at the end of the year. I don't see why that can't happen.
I'm gonna say it's between 3 of them for me.
Shakur's with
Shakur, Haney, and Davis. If they don't fight each other, one gonna be the odd out. But like you said, before the end of the year, and I don't want to wait till December for this shit. Run me this shit in September, October. If y'all don't fight before the end of the year, because I know DJ it probably will be December. But if they don't fight,
it'll be November, December, because I feel like we don't know what's gonna happen with Tank sentencing. But I feel like it's a strong possibility in my gut feeling. He's probably gonna have to go sit down for a couple months.
Probably like Mayweather.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're probably gonna give him the Mayweather treatment. He's probably gonna get 2-3 years of probation, maybe a whole bunch of community service time, and he's probably gonna have to go sit down for about 90 days.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
and then he'll get out probably a month early because he did good time.
Yeah,
and he need to be exercising while he in that bitch. But if that's the case, then you can run us Devin Haney. You can start in October. Devin Haney and Shakur. We need to see that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I wouldn't be mad at any type of combination. But just for me, I think we've been waiting on Tank and Devin a little longer. Like Shakur, we know what Shakur represents. We know his skill level. We know what he brings to the table. It's going to be a big fight either way. I'll definitely take that fight if I can get it. But I just feel like Devin and Tank need to cross paths.
They do. And guess what?
Like, I feel like that needs to happen.
I got Tank in that one.
Absolutely. I think Shakur beat them both. But that's just me.
Yeah. Damn, DJ was thinking the same way. Because if I rank the 3, I go Shakur, Davis, and Haney. That's how I do. But DJ, we over 3 hours, so I was keep it going. Nah, nigga, I gotta get it together, man.
I understand this, T.
Look, I'm trying to, y'all can hear my voice changing, and
yeah.
Like, I'm getting better though, y'all. Lasted 3 hours without it starting to break down because after you got COVID, man, you ain't the same no more. Like, how
you had COVID?
Yeah, last month, man, I was in the hospital. It wasn't the COVID that put me in the hospital. I turned around and had a severe asthma attack. And them two shits together knocked me on my ass. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I saw my thing. I didn't know if I was giving any background noise, but I saw my little avatar jumping without me saying anything, so I went on mute.
Yeah, that's why it's hard for me.
Yeah, I've had it before, and I've seen it take people out. But yeah, it just took away my smell and my taste. And other than that, I was fine. But I've seen it affect people differently, so I definitely understand, and I hope you're feeling better. It was great talking to you today, Miss T. We gotta quit putting these gaps in our conversation.
I know, right? Looks like I had a last couple of interesting days. Folks that got mad at me, and I got mad at folks. But I love them all. You know, ATL, I love you, man. I love you. I know you listening to this. ATL, man, but hey, he be saying, hey, we gotta challenge you, ATL, on certain things. I gotta hold you to the fight. Y'all know how I am. But again, I speak from facts. If I'm wrong, y'all hit me up and tell me where I'm wrong. And I will correct myself at the front of the show. Just like I said loud on the show, I'm going to say it loud again when I'm wrong on the show.
Yes,
ain't nothing we do in behind the scene. But other than that, in the words of Pamela James, peace.